If you're shoveling snow, get ready on a American Monday. Big Sills on an American Monday. How are you doing? Please hit the like button. Thank you very much for coming aboard on what has to be one of the most historic weekends in American sports. They say history never repeats itself. It did. February 22nd, 1980. I was a kid, and I saw Team USA undress those Ruskies in Lake Placid, baby. You bet. All-American. They went on to win the gold. They had to play another match. They win the gold medal. Yesterday, how about that boy, Jack Hughes, man? Tooth hanging out. He's got the American flag around him. He's got blood on his sweater. He wins the Olympic gold medal, 2-1 in overtime. Connor Hellebuck, what a fucking amazing tournament he had. What an amazing gold medal game. Beat those Canadians, baby. Where's LJ when I need him? LJ, we stole your fucking game. Right out from under your milk-drinking ass. How you doing? Great to be an American. Man, I was so proud. LJ, where are you and those phony-ass Canadians? We own you. We own you now. You're like China. By the way, the President of the United States calls him up. Let's go. Coming to the White House. Yes, sir. State of the Union. Yes, sir. Men and women win the gold medal for the first time since 1980. These three cities will be synonymous with American sports, and it will be Squaw Valley, 1960, 1980 Lake Placid, in 2026 Milan, Italy. How you doing? By the way, Tirico was sensational. He was sensational covering the game for NBC. LJ, where's your Canadian sorry ass? You're probably sitting around with M. Scummy. Where's M. Ray? Is he in here? Says, why does TJ Parker sound like a Fangio player? Sets the edge well, plays the run well, plays multiple schemes, drops in coverage. We're going to talk about, okay? We're going to talk about all of this here in a minute. Congratulations to Team USA, baby. You got it. You know what? He didn't have his papers, Sue. We deported his ass. I had the ICE people come and get his ass and send him back to the milk drink in Canada. How you doing? Only Americans, baby. That's not true. It's all good. USA! USA! About time we started feeling some of that stuff. Wasn't it great to watch athletes care? I tune on that bullshit NBA All-Star game, and I see guys kind of caring. And I tune on that hockey match between Team Canada was lights out too, by the way. Team Canada was, man. Kudos to them. Those guys were playing in different NHL teams, and I don't care what anybody says. I don't give a shit they're pros. They played like they loved their countries. Every single thing. By the way, the Olympics were spectacular. It was absolutely spectacular. Shout out! LJ, where are you, you loser? Today's the ultimate LJ loser day. Canadians, we stole your game. It'd be like the Canadian champion in the CFL beating the Seahawks. Are you crazy? Nobody beats America. Right? SOS. SOS, LJ. How you doing? All right, hit the like button, guys. Now, also, guess what's going on now? The NFL's convention. We got the NFL convention, and guess who's open for business? Howie's going to be like an auctioneer. So, here's my takeaway right out of the gate as we get into the convention this week. And everybody starts having dinners and lunches at St. Elmo's there in Indianapolis. LJ Brown to the highest bidder. What do you got for me? Come on, I'm Howie Roseman. What do you got for me? I'm ready. 38, 34, 47, 48. 38, 33, 3 first rounders, second two rounders, first rounders, second rounders, third rounders, first rounders. 1, 5, 3. 1, 3, 7. What do we got here? Over there. Seattle, what do you got? You want to put them on the other side of JSN? 1, 3, 7. Over there, who you got? Chicago Bears, you need a wide receiver on the other side of Adunze? 1, 3, 6. How you doing? Where are we going over here? Anybody, next bid. Going once. Going twice. Nope. Oh, we got another bid. Yes. What do you got? Arizona. Now forget it, Arizona. I don't need you anything there. Let's see there. Going once. Going twice. Chargers. What do you got? 1, 3, and a 4. Howie Roseman. Over here. How you doing? Okay. A.J. Brown. How many people in here believe that dude's going to be on your roster in 26? Everybody in Philadelphia thinks that guy's going to be on your roster. I don't. What did I see Johnny Mack? 52-48. Here's Big Sills. 82-18. 82-18 that A.J. Brown is being dealt. 82-18. And here's what I want for AJ in return. 1, 3. 1, a 3, and a 5. I'll take a 1, 3, and a 5 from Buffalo. He's yours. New England. 1, 3, and a 5. I'll do that there too. What do you take for? That's what I'd take for his ass. 1, 3, and a 5. Let's go. Let's get the malcontent's ass out of here. You'll be better without him. Okay? We got 3 things also going into the storylines, into the combines here I want to hit on. Position needs we're going to hit on. Also, Eagles looking for more offensive weapons. We're going to hit on that. Shopping the legendary A.J. Brown. And Howie is back to Temu shopping. We'll explain. How you doing? LJ been gone. Good. No, he's not. He's just in here on a different name. How you doing? Why do you think AJ wanted to trade? Every time he speaks, he sounds like he wants to stay. Prince, because they told him to say that. So, Prince, let me get this right. If you were going to sell your car, and would you go around telling people you had dents in it and you rolled it once? Is that what you'd say? Do you go around going like this? Hey, my house has been on fire. I just gave it a great paint job, and we fixed the room up. The fire started in, and we replaced the stove. It blew up. It blew up because Sileo was trying to cook some eggnog on it for Xander, thank you. And I blew up the stove, and, I fixed the stove. Is that what you would tell people? There you go, James. Damn straight. How you doing? Big Sills wants AJ out, not the Eagles. Big Sills doesn't want anything. Big Sills follows stories. Hey, dude, I follow stories. Ready for our brand new, refreshing offense? Yeah. That's like saying, are you ready for an enema? You ready for our new offense? Hey, what's it look like, Junior? Just curious. M. Reyes, what's the new offense going to look like? Help me out here. What's the new offense going to look like? Okay? Hey, since M. Reyes has got the first-hand look, he's already seen the pilot. What's it going to look like? Offense is going to be trash. Run right, run left. You wanted 4K? Get ready. Yeah, it's only been 7 years. It's going to be refreshing. Like a cold Sprite. What the fuck is it going to look like? Well, tell me what you think. What's it going to be? Gardner Johnson wants back. Should the Eagles reunite? They need a safety. Because Sidney Brown is a bust. We don't need AJ. Without him, Smitty has JSN numbers. Never happened. Wait, because you think they got rid of DK Metcalf? And you think Devontae Smith is JSN? Yeah, right. Are we ready for Jalen to have less time to throw, lower quality weapons, and scheme that Hurts can't wrap his head around this? I'm with you. Damn, a Sprite sounds good right now. Yeah. Unfortunately, that offense doesn't. We will be groovy. I'm ready for the draft. How you doing? High volume passing. 17 to 22 carries a game. Yeah, okay. Yeah, every time you've upped the guy's volume, the guy's blown. All right, so let me start with the run game. Since M. Ray has talked about the offense, how many years do you think Barkley has left in them wheels of his? 1? How many years do you think he has? I think he's got 1 year left. 29 years old. What is it? How many years? 8 years in the league now? 3 years. 3 years. I'll make a prediction right now. I'll bet you anything that guy don't finish the year. You want to bet? He won't finish the year. That guy's out of gas. No way. Oh, look at this guy. That brings a smile to my face. 35 TDs. Yeah, okay. This is his last ride. Dude, how old is Derrick Henry? Derrick Henry is a superior player to Saquon Barkley. Get that through your fucking head. He's a superior player. He's built different. Henry's a greater player. He's coming off 1,500 yards. What are you, fucking nuts? Hey, Sills, I agree. Everything is predicated on the offensive line because Super Bowl year, the run masked what we just witnessed for this season. So how much is it really going to matter with coaching? It's not going to matter. You're dead on. Really? My guy just ran for 2,600 yards. 1 year wonder. Hey, dude, RC3, do you believe Barkley is a better back than Henry? You want to see what an idiot looks like? You want to see? Okay? Okay? You tell me. You tell me. Do you really believe? Okay? Do you really believe that he's a better back? Hold on for a second. Oh, by the way, we got Doug Peterson confirmed. Hold on. Yes, it is. Okay, we just got Doug Peterson tomorrow at 3:30. Doug Peterson tomorrow at 3:30. Okay? Let's see here. So, Dougie's on tomorrow. So wait a minute, RC3. Henry's bigger. Henry's better. Dougie P tomorrow, 3:30. Sills, you can't say that. They upped the volume and we had the 8th-ranked offense, so that's incorrect. You upped the volume and you had 21 turnovers. And you also had 9 fumbles. Okay? Well, wait. Okay, that's fair, Prince. 15, 24. You had 24 turnovers in 17 games. You think that's high? He had 24 turnovers in 17 games. Do you think that's high? Yes or no? Do you? Let me see here. Hold on. Doug just text me back. Yep. So there you go. Doug Peterson tomorrow, 3:30. Looking forward to it. Henry isn't better now. Better career, yes. Henry just had 1,500 yards. Let me take a... Henry's not better now? Well, let's take a look at that comparison. What the hell are you looking at? Derrick Henry. What did he just have this year? So Derrick Henry in 2025 had 1,600 yards, 1,595 yards rushing on 306 and 16 touchdowns. What did Barkley have this year? And what was the yards per carry for this guy? 5.2 yards a carry and 1,600 rushing yards. What did I think Saquon Barkley's got one more year. Barkley. What did Barkley have? Barkley had 1,100 yards and 4.1 a carry and 280 carries. Bro, where in your mind do you think that Saquon Barkley's a better back right now? How many here? This is another misnomer. Here. Let's see here. How many fumbles did Derrick Henry have this year? Fumbles. How many fumbles did he have? He had 4. He had 4 fumbles this year. He had 4 this year, 3 last year, 0 in 2023. So in the last 3 years, he's had 7 fumbles in basically 900 carries. In 900 carries, he's had 7 fumbles. Get the fuck out of here. Henry's way better than Saquon. He can do everything Saquon can do and a lot more than Saquon correctly. Okay? I think that Barkley played the Super Bowl year with his hair on fire because of the Giants. Yeah, and plus the O-line was healthy. How dare you say Saquon is as good as not better than Henry? Crazy. I mean, really. I mean, again, because he's an Eagle, they think he's better. Derek cost the Ravens 2 games this year. I know. He did. Saquon Barkley and that O-line cost you a Super Bowl this year. Cost you the inability to get your run game going the entire year. Yeah, there was 2 games. Cost you the entire season. So much so you had to fire your entire offensive coaching staff because you couldn't get your run game going. Get this. Saquon Barkley, or Derrick Henry's washed with 1,600 yards and 15 TDs and 5 yards a carry. Well, bro, if he's washed, Saquon's a turd. Eagles fans have short memory about Barkley. Did not have a good year last year. Don't remember watching the game. Barkley's 10 times the home run hitter. Then how come he's never been? Bro, that guy's not going to the Hall of Fame, and I think he's out of gas. Yeah, certain guys have carries, and that's it. We're looking at it. Between him, hey, so wait a minute. The offensive line wasn't that awful. He still had 1,100 yards. And Derrick Henry played in fucking Tennessee. Played in Tennessee. You're making it sound like Derrick Henry was playing for the Rams. Bro, Paul, there's nothing on Saquon Barkley's resume that Derrick Henry hasn't done. And here, let me show you this too. How many times has he gone over 1,500 yards? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So get this. In the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years, here's Barkley's TDs, or Henry's TDs. 16, 17, 10, 13, 12, 16, 16. Here's his rushing yards. 1159, 1540, 2027. 967 in 8 games, 1538, 1267, 1921, and 1595. Where's he getting fucking worse? Bro, Barkley is nowhere the player that fucking Henry is. Get over yourself. Name me one thing he did as a player that Henry hasn't done individually. Guy's stupid. Hey, James, he's stupid. He got his day in the sun. Henry's better. Sucks. Barkley was drafted. Yes, Barkley was drafted to a shit situation. Henry definitely had a better line to play. In Tennessee, you guys are drunk. Hey, it doesn't matter where that guy played. That guy's a Hall of Famer. I know, Leon. They're trying to dismiss Derrick Henry's career to make their guy seem like he's better than him. And nowhere in his individual achievements has he done anything remotely close to what Henry's done. Outside of that 2,000-yard rushing year, Derrick Henry's career has been spectacular. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer. First ballot. Also, about that bullshit that Barkley was talking about Sean Mannion's offense. He was on a podcast, and he goes, I'm very excited about the new offense. And when asked what's different, you know what he said? I don't know. So at the end of the day, it was a bullshit comment by him. He doesn't even know what it's going to look like. He's trying to sit here and tell you, hey, I can't wait for the new offense. I'm very excited. It's going to look different than anything we've seen. Well, what's different from what you did a year ago? I don't know. Then what the fuck are you making a comment for about an offense that you have no idea what he's going to do? Sean Mannion's offense, and he's excited about it? How can you be excited about something that's never happened? Another BS comment from the PR department known as the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm very excited about the offense. What's it going to look like, Sills? Shit, I don't know. Dude, well, don't stop lying to me. Sills, when Barkley came into the league, he was the first guy to move in a way that was similar to Barry to me. He looked special, but his career has not been special. Derrick Henry's has. Henry is a machine. He's one of them old school backs that just runs you the fuck over. Saquon Barkley has tremendous talent. He's a great football player. Henry is special. He's a special player. Switch topics. Why are you arguing with the dead topics? Let's talk about something more relevant, Sills. Is the pressure more on Vic because of the new offense? No, the reason I'm bringing Barkley up, though, is because he made a bullshit comment. He was talking about the offense being different. Daff. I mean, they're just doing PR work right now. I think the pressure is on Vic. Sills, you just told me a scenario about selling cars. Saquon is doing the same thing when it comes to the offense. Relax. I don't need him to sell me anything. And by the way, when I go and look at a car, I don't listen to the salesman. I do my own due diligence and check out the car and see if the car works. Just because you told me that a car is going to be good doesn't mean I'm fucking buying it. So Saquon Barkley is a used car salesman right now. He's trying to sell me a junker. Hockey destroyed football last night. Hockey was awesome last night. And the women were great too. 2-1 win. Saquon selling Wolf tickets. Hey, I can't wait for the new offense. What's it look like? I don't know. What do you mean you don't know? If Derek was so great, why did the Eagles sign Barkley over him? Good question. Good question. Are you under the impression, Paul, that Barkley or that Henry couldn't have done? If Henry was on that offensive line in 24, he'd have went for 3,000 yards. Barkley being coached by Kelsey on how to answer questions about the Eagles. Thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you. Still, Saquon, 8,300 yards, 55 touchdowns to Henry's 13,122 TDs. Careers aren't even close. Derrick Henry's a top 5 back right now. He's a top 5 back. He's played a little longer, but Saquon Barkley will never come anywhere near these numbers. He may not get 10,000 rushing yards. Especially if he plays like he did this last year. He's not getting 10,000 yards. But by the way, would you guys agree? Hey, DFW, would you agree? Saquon's not better than Shady. He's not better than Shady McCoy. LaShawn McCoy's a better back. LaShawn McCoy is a better back, okay, than Saquon Barkley. Okay? Right? No, it's not hate. It's justice. Who's better, Shady or Barkley? Okay? Seals will make you hate everything about your team during his dreaded offseason. We suck at every position. That's a great topic. Leave that up there with Prince's stupid ass. Let's see something here before we get in. I'm not even in the topics yet. That's a great topic there, Prince. I agree with this. Prince, I love this topic. Let's see here. Quarterback. I hate his style of play. Barkley. I like him. AJ. I like him. Devontae. I like him. Dotson. It's irrelevant. Goddard. I kind of like him. Mulata. I love him. Landon. I love him. Cam. The Brazilian butt tuck. Yeah, I like him. Steen, he's a dude. I don't care. Lane, legend. Moro Jomo, like him. Jordan Davis, I kind of, have fallen in like with him. Carter, I've kind of fallen out of like with him. Jalen Phillips, love him. Zach Bond, love him. N'Kobe, one day I love him, another day he's hurt. And I don't know, Nolan Smith, don't like him. Adoree, he's a chick. You know what Adoree Jackson is? Like when you're hammered at night at 3 o'clock in the morning and you need to make a call. Hey, how you doing, princess? Big Sills be over. Those were old days. Those things are gone. Reed Blankenship. You kidding me? No, thank you. Andrew Makuba. Cube. Great. Cooper DeJean. Great. I don't know what you're talking about. I love your guys. Hey, Sills, did you hear anything about Gardner Johnson showing interest in coming back to the Eagles for a decent price? Come on, man. Come on, man. Well, I'll tell you what. Every time they bring the guy back, he'd go to an NFC championship game and a Super Bowl. Does Barkley have better playoff numbers than Henry? I think he might. Really? Okay. Okay. Let's see. Let's see here. Playoff Henry. Derrick Henry playoff numbers. Henry. Derrick Henry playoff stats. Let's see here. Derrick Henry playoff. So Derrick Henry. Let's see here. So in 3 games in 2019, he had 446 yards. How many yards does he have? He's got 1,002 rushing yards and 7 touchdowns in 9 games. And 5 yards a carry. 5 yards a carry. Yeah, you're right. Barkley's better. Sills, in your opinion, should we stick with Barkley or package him in picks for the Atlanta Falcons would never trade Bijan Robinson. Are you kidding? Bijan's the best back in football. Why would I want to trade for an over-the-hill running back in picks? I'm not landing on a guy like Bijan Robinson. CJ's like, oh, man. Let's see here. Does that mean Sills is out of Lamar Jackson and all the other players that sucked in 25 from other teams? You mean like Hurts? Let's see. Well, I think he played. I don't think Lamar had a great year at all. I think he's terrible. I think he was terrible last year, as a matter of fact. Okay, I do. Now, again, remember, it's got, it has everything to do with, making sure you package your guy up. Robinson's the best. Even Barkley isn't. Says he's the best cuts in football. How about this, Kim? Remember when I told you on draft day that guy was going to be special and it'd be cool if the Eagles could get him? I swear Eagle fans are some of the most, they'll say anything, right? All right. So storylines going into the combines. I threw these out here. What are some of the storylines that you want Howie and Nick to answer tomorrow? I'm hearing they're going to answer the media tomorrow. And so it's the first time since this kindergarten offensive coaching staff has been put together. You tell me, what are some of the things that you think heading into the combines have to be addressed? So I wrote these down. Let me go here. Where is that? These are some of the issues that I wrote down heading into the combines. Let me get it up. Put it here. Okay. Howie and Nick are going to speak. And these are some of the storylines for me. New look offense. New look offense. Another young and inexperienced offensive staff. New hires. And they've been asked pretty much to fill and fix what has been a stagnant offense, especially in the passing game. And you're starting to see people understand that what they've done with their offensive line. You know what, too? I'll say this. The style of play that they had for the 4 years prior to what they're going to do now probably has put its toll and had its wear all over the offensive line. Okay? I mean, Stoutland is now out, obviously. They hired the new guy from the Green Bay Packers. They got a 43-year-old offensive line coach. The interior blocking was not good. You know what? We mentioned it all year long. I got a spreadsheet in front of me here, and I'm looking at some of the numbers. And the interior offensive line was one of the worst in the last 4 years. The offensive line inside, center and two guards, were not as productive as they've been the 3 previous years. You got to address that. How successful will they be, in your opinion, in implementing these new principles that Chris Cooper, the offensive line coach, is going to have to put and install? Okay? And you can tell that the hires have hired concepts. Every single one of these coaches that you're bringing in on the offensive side, this is all having to do with concepts. There's nothing that's been implemented. This is all concepts. When Saquon Barkley says, and it's a bullshit comment, I'm excited about the new offense. He's excited about the new theory. To what Prince said, this is a theory. Nothing's been implemented. This is not a game plan. This is a theory on what they want to try to accomplish. They looked at Glenn Schumann from Georgia as the next DC. They've been flirting around with him for a long time. Before they hired Vic, they did that. So appreciate it, Kim. Thank you for the super. So this new system, it is basically concepts. They're collecting concepts from all of these guys: Josh Grizzard, Sean Mannion, Chris Cooper, and you can tell what they're doing now. It took me a little bit to figure it out, and I was talking with a friend of mine. I was talking to Mark Tressman, actually. Okay, so this comes off the Shanahan tree, right? And this is with Sean McVay. So what they're going to do is, this is more concepts. There is nothing that they have done that makes you look at it and go, show me where this works before. So to sit there and say they're going to build a game plan, they're building it off of concepts and thoughts. None of these guys have ever been in charge of anything except for Josh Grizzard. Kevin Patullo a little bit as well. Why does Nick always need to be assisted by a guardian on the field? It is Dom after school. It's Howie. I don't know why he has to have a bodyguard there. In case he acts like an asshole, I don't know. Sills, Q1, question 1. What skills needed for the new O-line that the old O-line doesn't possess? Let's do it one here. what skills needed for the new O-line, I'm assuming coach, that the O-line doesn't possess? Look, they want, to me, I don't know if he wants guys to get up on the second level. I don't know if they want to have power blocking and zone blocking. I have no idea what they're going to do with the offensive line. I have no idea what if you move off of Jess Stoutland, like you just said, what is this guy going to possess that Stoutland wouldn't know? I can't answer that. I can't answer that. The old scheme had Jalen Hurts looking outside the numbers, but the WC is timing and uses the middle, West Coast. Does that change draft? Here's something, Bob, you got to think about if you're going to draft somebody in the first 2 rounds. This team needs players. They need people to step in and play today. I'm not going to draft Lane Johnson's replacement, put him on the bench, and my first round pick is sitting on the pine. So let's just put this out there. If you bring back Nakobe Dean and Jahad Campbell sitting on the pine, and you draft Lane Johnson's replacement, and you got 2 first-rounders that you have on the bench from the last 2 drafts, how successful do you think that is, Bob? If your first 2 rounders in the last 2 drafts are sitting on the sidelines, isn't that a problem? That'd be a problem for me. By the way, JAKIB will join us. That'll be at 3:30. You got to evolve that a little bit, though, Kim, because the West Coast offense has evolved a lot from Walsh's system. It's more in space, okay? Bill Walsh School of Thought, always be drafting a quarterback. Correct. Yes. Okay? Cobb is 4:30. My bad. I'm sorry. I misspoke. Xander's at 3:30. Cobb's at 4:30. The Eagles are not running a traditional West Coast offense. How do you know that, Prince? I've been saying concept because none of the players fit the West Coast setup. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. That's fair. We need day 1 starters, first 3 picks. Well, that would be insane. Let's see. Did you have day 1 starters with the last 3 with last year's draft? Makuba started. Jahad Campbell started. Who else? So you had 2. I think if you get 2, you're lucky. So that's one of the issues that you're talking about heading into the combines. Here's the second one. Okay? Here's the second one. What do you think your pillars are going to look like in 26? Who are your pillar players? Who do you think the pillar players are heading into 2026? Let's write them down. Your pillar players. Jalen Hurts. Thank you, Stevie. Jalen Hurts. Barkley. Let's put AJ. Devontae. Lane. Mulata. Davis. Carter. Bond. Mitchell. And Dean. Cooper DeJean. Okay? Let's start there. So what are your pillars going to look like going into this season? What I mean by there's no certainty. First and foremost, that A.J. Brown is going to be back and back to all-pro status. I mean, there's no thing set in stone on that. Lane Johnson's coming off in an injury-filled year. There's no certainty he's going to be back to full strength. And by the way, I'm not saying that they're not going to be not back to full strength. Okay? Those are your two biggest pillars heading into the 2026 season. Okay? These are your two biggest guys. Hey, get this. How many people think that Jalen Hurts is going to struggle with this offense at first as he adapts to it? He struggled with every single passing offense he's ever had since he's been in Philadelphia. Why would he pick this up fast? How long is it going to take Hurts to adapt to this new offense? I'm putting on Stevie's dog treats. Thank you, Jeff. You hear that, Stevie? You get treats. There you go. I think they might dumb it down. So let me ask you this. Sylvan, do you believe that Jalen Hurts, maybe because he was learning how to set protections, that it took him a little bit to learn how to set protections? Hey, Prince, I'm saying this. Do you think he struggles picking up the new offense? Not because he stinks, but because it's new. And they're asking him to do new things. Maybe they're going to be asking him to do shit he's not done before. I mean, okay. So with that schedule, this lends you to believe there could be some struggling at the beginning. Anything new? Look at the Eagle defense at the beginning of last year. Okay? It kind of wobbled out of the gate. Vic righted the ship. Howie brought in Jalen Phillips. And the defense by the end of the year settled down, right? I say Hurts struggles just because it's a new offense. Anybody would struggle. Now, I will give Jalen this. Jalen's dealt with this routine the last couple of years, though. So, of all the quarterbacks in the NFL, he may be more set up to deal with radical change than any other guy. If Jalen throws for over $4,000 this year, Sills, will you crown him elite? Mac, depending on how it looks. Okay, Mac, let me ask you this. Let me do something here. Okay, I'm going to read you this, and you tell me if this is elite. Okay? You tell me if this, Mac, he has to. Mac, okay? I have to. You tell me who this is, okay? 4,166 passing yards and 29 touchdowns. 49-17, 25 touchdowns. 42-98, 30 touchdowns. By the way, this is in consecutive years. 3,600 yards and 26 touchdowns. 42-65 and 35 touchdowns. 45-47 and 30 touchdowns, and 42-21 and touchdowns. 4,200 yards, 42-21 in passing yards, and 33. Are those elite numbers? This is one whale of a schedule. I got it. So wait a minute here. It says I have to. Mac, what I just read you, is that elite? I'll do it again. 41-66, 29 TDs. 49-17, 25 TDs. 4,100, 27 TDs. These are passing touchdowns. 42-98 and 30 touchdowns. 42-65 and 35 touchdowns. This is all consecutive years. And 42-21 and 33 touchdowns. Would you call that elite? Mac, would you call that elite? Oh. Listen what I just said. 4,166, 29 touchdown passes, 4,917 passing yards, and 25 TDs. 4,193, 27, 4,298, 30, 4,265, 35, 4,221, 33, 45, 47, 29. Who is that? According to Mac, who are you referring to as far as these stats you're mentioning? Well, you just said if Hurts throws for $4,000, I have to consider him elite. Those are Kirk Cousins numbers. Is he elite in your mind? By the way, he's 88 and 77. Those are Kirk Cousins numbers. You must think that Kirk Cousins is elite then. No. Those are elite stats. Okay? So when you say something like that, good numbers not elite. Now you're redefining good numbers? Huh, interesting. You guys thought it was Lamar. You thought it was Dak, Jordan Love. You're shocked it was Kirk Cousins. Look how many years Cousins has thrown for $4,000 in a row. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And get this. Look, he's thrown for over 20 touchdowns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 consecutive years he's thrown for over 20 touchdowns. Empty calories? Why? He can't play defense. He can't play defense. There we go again. He's not on a very good team when he's in Washington. And at the time in Minnesota, he wasn't. Kurt doesn't have the clutch gene. Clutch gene? That's such a stupid thing. Clutch gene. You mean like Kurt's throwing that 4th and 11? Where was the clutch gene there? Oh, what? You can't win them all? All right. He's now 6-4 in the postseason. He's 2 games over 500. That's exceptional. It's not that easy to throw in the NFL. I get it. Yeah, but it's funny. You guys were naming elite quarterbacks like Lamar Jackson and guys like that. Matthew Stafford. When you found out it was Cousins, you're like, oh, shit. Can't be. Whoa, wait a minute. Oh. You know what elite looks like. Stats aren't making you elite. You know elite when you see it. Guy who can't read defenses and a guy who struggles in the pocket and throws to 2 dudes. You tell me what elite is. You see elite. Kim, it is pretty impressive. Seals, I think we need to define a pillar. Needs to be at least 3 or more years. And a key contributor. If you're gone in 27, you a pillar? I say no. I agree. Well, wait a minute. Bob, I think half that line will be gone by the end of 27. Maybe almost all of that line. I think Dak Prescott is an elite passer. He is. Dak Prescott's an elite passer. Hurts is elite. He actually wins. Hurts is not an elite skill set at all. 0. And every other one of those guys you mentioned, the general manager of your football team would take every single one of those guys over Jalen Hurts. Get this. Hey, I'm Reyes. Let me ask you this, these guys you mentioned. Do you believe that Howie would take Hurts over Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, or Justin Herbert? Do you believe that? Do you believe that your GM would take Hurts over any one of those four that you mentioned? I'm asking you a question. Yeah, get this. Yes, that's a lie. Howie Roseman would take Justin Herbert in 5 seconds over him. You fucking kidding me? My God. What an absolute asshole. Getting carried through the 22 NFC Championship, carried through the 24 divisional round. He was trashing both those big games. Yeah, these other, hey, guys like Allen can't be bad any moment. Herbert would be perfect quarterback if we were casting somebody for a movie to play quarterback. Amen. 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 So let me move on here. So the pillars. What are you guys expecting from Lane Johnson this 26th season? Just curious. Return to form? So the Super Bowls don't count. Here we go again. So let me ask you this. I keep bringing up the name Jim Plunkett. He won 2 Super Bowls and an MVP and a Super Bowl. Do you think it matters if he's an elite guy or not? I just watched Sam Darnold win a Super Bowl. You don't need to be an elite guy to win a Super Bowl, dude. You don't need to be an elite guy to win it. Nick Foles is not elite. Joe Flacco's not elite. Okay? I mean, you don't have to be an elite guy to win that game. Non-elite guys. Get this. He outplayed Mahomes. Anybody in here, would you take Hurts over Mahomes if you were drafting? And Justin Herbert outplayed Hurts every time they lined up. He outplayed Mahomes. So it's a relevant conversation. It's a completely irrelevant convo. I mean, so when you bring that up, he outplayed Mahomes. So? What are you guys expecting from Lane coming back? Return to form? Are you guys expecting a return to form? You got to be elite to go to 2 Super Bowls. Matthew, so you think Sam Darnold's elite now, right? Because he just won a Super Bowl. Here, let me ask you this. Let me give you another guy. Let's see. I'm assuming he probably thinks Trent Dilfer is elite too. Whatever, guy. He's a huge dude on a bum foot. If he's really healed, yes. If they rush him back, no. Okay. Multiple? Jim Plunkett. 2 Super Bowl wins and an MVP. He's not elite. He'll never sniff the Hall of Fame. He's actually done more than Hurts. Rookie of the Year. Comeback Player of the Year. 2 Super Bowl wins. And, yeah, Eli Manning. 2 MVPs in the Super Bowl. Is Eli Manning elite? Shit, he may never get in the Hall of Fame. Those guys elite. Brad Johnson. So let me get back to Lane. What are you guys expecting from Lane? One of your pillar guys coming back. This will set up the draft conversation here that we're going to have. Sills, Plunkett brought efficiency, veteran leadership, and deep passing game to the team with a strong defense and running game. He played his part, nothing flashy. Correct. I like Jim. I worked with Jim when I did sidelines for Stanford Cardinal football. I like him a lot. I don't want my quarterback to be elite. I want a winner. Give me Tom Brady. He wasn't elite in any physical traits, but he was smarter than those so-called elite players. Brady was a savant in the pocket. Something Hurts will never be. Brady won with his intelligence and his processing of the game. You may not have had the greatest feet on the planet, but what he had was his processing. Like Bernie Kosar, like when you heard Mark Trestman say, if it wasn't for the greatness of Elway, Bernie Kosar would have been a first ballot Hall of Famer because of the way he processed the game, the way he saw the game. Very few people can dissect defenses the same way that Bernie Kosar can. And Bernie Kosar did that his entire career. AJ is traded, wide receiver becomes a priority. It still would be if he's back. But OL, tight end, cornerback 2, DL. We're going to look at that here too. Lane has been going through a lot. I expect Lane to actually let his body fully heal and stop playing through injuries. Tom Brady definitely saw the game different. Absolutely. I don't have a problem saying that Jalen is a smart. He's just limited. But I do think he's smart. He can't read a defense to save his life. But I do think he's smart in how he sees the game. I do. I think he slows the game down. But when it comes to skill set and progression reading and pocket awareness, he doesn't have it. If Plunkett not going, Eli shouldn't. Yeah, well, I think they're the same dudes. Thank you for the super. Appreciate it. People need a reality check. In 2 years, Lane will be gone. Barkley will be gone. Hurts will be gone. And AJ will be gone this year. We are in a low-key rebuild, and people don't realize it. It's an incredible take, and I believe you're correct. That coaching staff change is the first sign of it. You're moving on from Jeff Stoutland is a sign that, if this thing doesn't work and people think Nick's going to be fired, they're making all these changes. So wait a minute, let me get this right. They made all these changes, and if it doesn't work, they're firing Nick? So are they setting Nick up for failure? Sills, Hurts will never be elite. That said, he may end up being generational because his success is playing in his playing days could make him one of the most successful. Like Aikman. I don't think generational. Hey, Troy Aikman's won 3 Super Bowls, and he's not considered generational. Bob, if Hurts does it and wins again, we'll see. But Aikman's not even considered generational. Aikman was never considered the best quarterback in his era. And he won the most. Here. This is the final year of Nick. Hurts Super Bowl window. Maybe. Just rip off the Band-Aid and do a complete rebuild. I want to show you guys something. That's a great topic. QBs during the Aikman era. Okay. Let's see here. So from what year did Troy play? 89 to 2000. Okay. NFL quarterbacks. 1989 to 2000. So, do you think that Troy Aikman was better than John Elway? No. Do you think he was better than Steve Young? No. Montana? No. Marino? No. Kelly? No. Randall Cunningham? No. He wasn't better than those dudes. I mean, here's the 89 year. Marino, Cunningham, Moon, Montana. Better than those guys. It wasn't better than any of them guys. Aikman made Novacek famous in The Playmaker. Okay, so let me move on here. So I say this about Lane. Here's my take on Lane. One of your pillars coming back. I'm not sure what we're going to see. Should I give him the benefit? Okay. Dart beat Eli's passing record at Ole Miss. Crazy. That is crazy. Here's my take on what I'm expecting from Lane. Back to form? I guess. Let's do this. What's your prediction on Barkley's year in 2026? How many yards? I'm going to write it down here. What do you think Barkley does this year? What do you think he does? Okay. This would be the second most rushing yards in his career for a single season. Wow. Okay. Here's what I got. I got 1,100 yards and 8 touchdowns. What do you guys make of that? I got Barkley with 1,100 yards and 8 touchdowns. Oh, my God. Way to go, dude. That's what I got. 1,108. You want to go receiving? All right, 250. And 4. So about 1,300 yards of total offense. Good job, my friend. Yeah, I got about 1,100. 807? Nah, that's too much, Sills. I got about 1,100 for him. Barkley will have 2,200 all-purpose. I love those guys. Hey, Matthew, you were one of those guys that were telling me he was going to go back-to-back like M. Reyes. $2,000. Sure. Will A.J. Brown, if here, will he return back to form? This is one of your pillars. Do you think A.J. Brown returns back to form? If here. And what's that going to look like? Hope. Remember, all of you said the quarterback was going to struggle a little bit at the beginning. So put that into context. 15 all-purpose. I don't remember him doing anything purpose, unless you're talking Barkley. What's AJ's 26 year looking like? What do you think would be a success for him? If here. Mannion will use him more as a decoy. Here's my numbers. I got 980 yards and 10 touchdowns if here. Sills, AJ could be back in form if Hurts can throw across the middle. AJ's directly tied to Jalen Hurts' success in the scheme. I got 980 yards. You guys were telling me that he lost a step last year. You just got to tell him he was going to the offense would struggle early. Okay? I have for Devontae. I got 1,200 yards for Devontae and 10 touchdowns. I think they're going to do everything in their power to try to make him become the number one. I think in this new offense fits Devontae Smith better than A.J. Brown. That's why A.J. is going to be traded, because he knows this. The more fluent wide receiver in this type of system, like the Jamar Chases, the JSNs, people like DK Metcalf and A.J. Brown, and a spread offense like this, and he's one-dimensional, can't play him in the slot, and you can't play him over on the other side. They rarely rotate him and travel him. He's always on the right side, 80% of the time. Look at his throw chart. He's never in the slot. He's not versatile. I think they're going to do everything in their power to move Devontae Smith around in this new offense. And you're going to find out if Devontae is going to be a 1,000, 1,200-yard, 1,300-yard guy this year. If he can do it, they want him to be the number one. He's got to be the heir apparent. Don't you think? You drafted him 10th. Okay? Seals will keep going down the route until he's right. Well, I will be right. I'll be right in the end always. Father Time. Okay? And by the way, like I told you, bro, outside of 24, I've not been wrong. Not when it came to your team. If AJ moves Smitty getting 15 to 1750 in yards, quarterback's not that good, dude. If Smitty is the number one, then we need a dominant tight end. That's a great take right there, Fly. I happen to subscribe to that. Not last year. Devontae Smith had more yards and receptions. Sills, it's all based on what version of the West Coast they run. Well, we don't know. You know, Barkley doesn't even know what they're going to run. All right, let me move off of that. Let me ask you this. How will the Eagles go about stockpiling this new passing game? Do you think they try to find more talent and add to the team this offseason? Add another big wide receiver at 3? Don't you think it would, if Jalen Hurts did two things, he'd have 4,000 passing yards every year. Checkdowns and throw to wide receiver 3 and tight ends more. If he threw the third wide out and the tight end more, he would have. Do you know why I keep saying he'll never throw for $4,000? Because you only use 2 wideouts. You don't really use anybody else. He would throw for 4,400 yards every year. But because he doesn't check down, he barely throws to tight ends, and he doesn't throw to wide receiver. Here, let me look something up here. I'm going to show you something. So what did Jalen have here? Okay. 294 completions, 300. Let's say 300. Now watch this. Goddard. Okay. And so, all right. Of Jalen Hurts is 294, 300 completions. Do you know only 79 of them went to wide receiver 3 and the tight end? Think about that. 79. Why is that number important? 79 of the 300 completions that Hurts had this year went to the tight end and wide receiver 3 guys. When I'm game planning, I know where you're going. You're telegraphing it. Sure, I'll let Devontae and AJ get their numbers. I know this. He'll never threaten with the middle of the field on the seam with the tight end. Rarely. And when he does, it's successful. They just don't go to it enough. And you never throw to wide receiver 3. How can you run a West Coast offense when you don't utilize the tight end and the other wideout? You want to run a West Coast offense and 2 players on the team you don't use. Dude, if that guy threw to 2 more people every game, he'd have 4,000 yards. It would be a better passing offense. Think about what I just said. 79 of the 300 completions, 220 completions go to AJ and to Devontae. 220 of those, and a couple other wideouts. So when I'm game planning, sure, A.J. Brown gets 130 yards and Devontae gets 60. So what? I know where you're going to play. I'm going to keep you underneath. He's going to throw to the sidelines. We're rarely going to be beat. And just keep everything underneath. This is why they're changing the offense. It's become so predictable that, I mean, I know where they're going. You don't throw to wide receiver 2. Oh, here's Prince trying to making sure he makes his point. Hey, too fucking bad. Get out and play and get your yards. You need to get out there and play? That's not on Devontae for making it to 17 games. A.J. Brown didn't make it to 17. Smitty had more yards. Smitty had more catches. Stop it. Don't use excuses of injuries, dude. Get your ass out there and play. Let me guess. What, was his feelings hurt that day? Brought saw another example. I love him. Guy wants to try to make a point right. Well, he played 2 more games. No shit. Played 2 more games? Well, go play. Injuries are also part of the equation. That's why you're debating on what to do with the Kobe Dean. Yeah, but he played in 2 more games than what AJ did. Hey, dude, it wouldn't have mattered. How many of those games? By the way, let me take a look at something here. This guy make excuses for it. Injuries are not an excuse. Injuries are part of pro football. Injuries are part of Injuries are part of sports. So here's A.J. Brown. His last 3 games, 41 yards, 95 yards, and 68 yards. He had 14 targets in 3 games. His best stretch was Dallas, Chicago, and the Chargers. You know why? They were playing behind. In the Dallas game, they were ahead, and then Dallas came back from 21 down. Prior to that, 49, 13, 87, 43, 121, 27, 109. I mean, well, that means I know I'm making sense. Exactly. You have to prepare for them correctly. Injuries suck. You prepare for injuries, Brian, accordingly. That's right. Just I want to hear your 2 cents on which quarterback do we need to satisfy for the Eagles out of the draft, or replace quarterback one, or trade for who? Dude, I'm not moving off of Jalen Hurts right now. I want to see if he can do it. I'm not getting off of that guy. 2026 will tell me all I need. I already know. Okay? I already know. Sills, Hurts can't throw to the birds, to the third wide receiver, because he can't read the defense pre-snap. Correct. Let me move on here. Unrestricted free agents. This is another topic going into the combines. Jalen Phillips, Dallas Goedert, Jacoby Dean, Reed Blankenship, Fred Johnson, Adoree Jackson, and Jahan Dotson. All those guys, my priority would be either Blankenship or Phillips. Would be my priority. I would tell Phillips this. Here's $15 million. I'm not going north of that. I'm not paying that guy north of $15 million. I don't think he's worth it. And I love the kid. I don't think he's worth north of 15. John's trying to tell you that Jalen Phillips is better than Josh Sweat. That's fucking bullshit. That he's better than Josh Sweat. I mean, in what world? Like, what has he done to make you think he's better than Josh Sweat? Like, what has he done? Here, Josh Sweat this past season on a shitty Cardinals team, what did he do? Sweat had 13 sacks this past season. So let me take a look at Josh Sweat the last couple of years here. What in the world do you see that Jalen Phillips is a better player? Based on what? Like, here is the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 seasons. Because that's how many years that Jalen Phillips has been in the league, right? Or 5, is it? 6 sacks, 7.5, 11, 6.5, 8, 12. In the last, how many years? Let's just go the years, 5 years. 1, 2, 3. There's 18.5. There's 6.5. There's 20. In the last 5 years, he's got 40 sacks. Like, where? I mean, he had 13 tackles for losses. Let me take a look at Jalen Phillips' numbers now. Jalen Phillips. Okay. 8.5, 7, early, 6.5. And in the last, you tell me, in the last, let's see, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 30. In the last 38 games, Jalen Phillips has 11 sacks. And he's missed how many games? In the last 4 years, He's missed 13. He's missed 8. Let's see. 1, 2. Let's see. He's missed 11. He's missed 13 ball games in the last 4 years. If you sign Phillips, I hope you could fit in Chubb. Still, Sweat getting his sack numbers up isn't a surprise. The Eagles defense prioritizes getting off the offense off the field. No, it doesn't. They were 28th in that. The Philadelphia Eagles defensively this past year, they prioritize it? Well, let's take a look at that. So you're saying they prioritize that they prioritize third down. Okay. Let's see, third down defense. Or the Eagles last year in third down defense. Eagles are 21st in third down defense. That's a prioritizing? I mean, dude, they didn't get off the field. Yeah, both on offense or defense. Potential needs heading into this combines. OT. Just mentioned Lane. Okay. Mentioned edge rusher. Tight end. Safety. How many people believe Makuba is going to be a healthy ball player? Yep, Walter Nolan was a guy we loved in the draft. Well, here, just incredible. Letting Milton and Sweat walk. Yes. Yes. Get this. Do you not agree here? Letting Milton and Sweat walk cost you a third-round pick. Right? That cost you a third-round pick. Because you had to go get Jalen Phillips. Right? Cost you a third-round pick. How we looked at it, it's cheaper. I'd rather give a 3 up than pay Josh Sweat $17 million. The question's going to be if Nolan Smith doesn't pan out. Because then, here's the biggest nightmare for Howie. If Jalen Phillips walks, you lose the 3, and if Nolan Smith doesn't pan out, you lose a 3 and a 1. Remember that. That's how my mind looks. If you don't re-sign Jalen Phillips, you lose the 3. And right now, that 1 for Nolan Smith doesn't look like a 1. He looks more like a late third, top of the 4th round right now, where we told you he was supposed to go. Like a third-round guy. And if that doesn't work out, you lose a 1 and a 3 in this whole last 3 years here. If that guy doesn't pan out, Nolan Smith, and Phillips walks out the door, that's a big swing and a miss. It's a 1, it's the money, it's the player development that you couldn't do, and you lose draft picks. See, now they've become expensive. This is a good draft pick. But you know what they're going to do? They're going to sacrifice Moro Ojomo. Let him walk, and they're going to keep people because they're going to pay Davis and Carter. If we signed Phillips, it was a great trade. If not, it wasn't. That, as simple as that is, yes. Dude, these numbers, I'm sorry. The agents, to me, are pushing these numbers up. I don't believe some of these numbers. Like when you're talking about $20 million. Like I heard somebody tell me, Robert Bailey told me he thinks he's going to get $23 million from teams like Tennessee and maybe the Chargers or maybe even the Commanders. You know, the Commanders are being in the market for Jalen Phillips. Why do you think Carter and Nolan Smith were so good in 24? And we had Sweat and Milton. Big difference in the D-line. They left Carter, got double teamed. I told you that. Hey, Jace, remember I said when free agency started, I go, if you let Milton Williams and Josh Sweat, who's going to take the double teams on Jalen Carter? Let me ask you something else, guys. Before we get Big Z in here, do you think Howie and them guys letting Milton Williams and Josh Sweat walk affected the health of Jalen Carter this year? Do you? Before we get Big Z in here, do you think allowing Milton and Josh Sweat to walk, do you think that affected the health of Jalen Carter this year? On taking the doubles. Do you think that affected his health? Having to play more reps and him being injured. Okay? Carter had injuries prior to the season on what? The Super Bowl he got hurt in? Phillips is only 26. He's got a lot of thread on the tires left. Okay? Listen, I don't want to talk too much shit on that kid because I love him. No, I think Carter already had issues from all the reps in 24. So, okay, but Chris, follow me. So as Morrow and all those other guys were getting used to the position and starting, and you had lesser players next to Jalen Carter, it affected him. I think Jalen Phillips is a really good ball player. I really do. All right. So I got to ask Big Z. I'm going to set this up, and then we're going to bring Xander in here. You ready? So I was listening to a podcast with our boy Saquon Barkley, and he was like, holy shit. Wait till you see this new offense. It is unbelievable. I can't believe what I'm going to see. Unbelievable. Well, what's going to be the difference there, Bark, between this offense this year and the new one? I don't know. I don't know. What do you mean I don't know? Who are you talking to? Big Sills? What do you mean I don't know? All right. Maybe there's only one person that can figure this bullshit out, and that is my friend, Mr. Lake Placid himself. And I'll tell you, every time I see the gear he has, he's got the picture in the back. What a great moment. Former goaltender. He must have loved Connor Hellebuck and what that dude did with them 42 saves. That guy was spectacular. And then you have the guy with the tooth all fucked up and gone, Jack Hughes. He's got the American flag wrapped around him. This guy looked like Jim Craig 2.0, baby. Now there's going to be 3 cities that are synonymous with hockey in the United States. Ready? Squaw Valley, 60. Lake Placid, 80. And now Milan, Italy, 2026. I don't give a shit what John McMullen says about the Olympics. That was fucking awesome. Way to go, America. My guy, Big Z, Xander Krause. He joins us right now. How you doing? Proud to be
here. What's up, Phils? How you doing, brother?
Was that thing awesome yesterday, dude?
That was awesome. That was a hell of an intro, too. But, yeah, that was an awesome game, man. What an awesome moment for the Americans to get the win, Sills. I thought your open was fitting for a big weekend for America. So, well done, man. It was a pretty awesome game and an awesome moment for sure.
How about the Chicks, too? 2-1 in OT there against Canada, right?
Both of them. There's no doubt, man. You get the The clean sweep over Canada. This is my sport now, Canada. This is my sport now. All right. So pretty good by the squad. Also, pretty cool to see the first interview the kid gets when it's so easy to make it all about you. Your teeth are knocked out. You get the game-winning goal. You're 24 years old. Your brother out there. First thing he says, what a great moment for our country. What a great day to be an American. I mean, it was just cool to hear that, repeatedly. So awesome moment, awesome team, awesome win. By the way, if you're a hockey fan, you know that Canada outplayed the United States in that game. I mean, that was
shots.
Yes, I mean, the way that Connor played and net was amazing, and to finish it off was phenomenal.
Absolutely, man. I mean, I just love it, and I'm going to steal a line from the movie Castaway. America to Canada. I'm the captain now.
Yeah,
I'm the captain.
Exactly right. By the way, Connor McDavid, as talented of a player as he is, and full disclosure, he is one of the greatest hockey players I have ever watched with my two eyes. But 2 back-to-back Stanley Cup losses, and now an Olympic loss. Oh man, I mean that's tough. Now people will say, is he a loser? He's not a loser. He led the damn Olympics in points. I mean, the guy's a stud. But you got to get it done in the big moments. And by the way, that breakaway and the breakout in the overtime that got the United States the winner, Connor McDavid was on the other end on the forecheck. Yep, and they turned the puck over, and that's where the Americans broke it out. So come on, McDavid, but that's a couple tough losses for him, man.
Is he now the new Lamar Jackson of the playoffs for the NHL?
Or the
got to get it done.
Or the Josh Allen.
Or the Josh Allen. Got to get it done.
Got him.
All right, Xander, I need your help.
Yeah, I know. You're about to ask me about something I can't help you with.
Don't fuck the question. By the way, Doug Peterson tomorrow at 3:30. How you doing?
Can't wait. Real quick, I got a great promo, too. We're running for the great people. We got to get Krause on at 5. We have, real quick, and we'll tell you more about it a little later on. We have an opportunity to go to the home opener in a seat, not standing room. Now, they're not going to be down low because you got to pay. I mean, it's a good price, but $100. We have a full tailgate and ticket to the game, to the home opener with JAKIB Nation. The promo, we got a promo done with the partner Savvy Seats. So we're going to tell you a little bit more about that. That's
you got to bring me in. You got to bring me in then. You got to bring me in.
It's branded right now as the Birds 365 tailgate because I said to Krause, well, he ain't flying in. So I mean, no, I'm just kidding. It's the JAKIB tailgate.
I will.
No, yeah. So we got to get him on at 5. We'll talk about that a little bit.
Can you imagine if it's like the Cowboys again for the home opener? On what that thing will be. What?
Who do you think it will be the home opener? Could be the Cowboys. I don't think they'll do that again.
No, they're probably not going to do 2 in a row here.
Yeah, and we're not the Thursday, so we'll see.
No, we're not. We're Sunday. Okay, let me see. Let me see here. Eagles. Tell me who you think. Eagles 2026 schedule. You pick a team and I'll pick a team.
Let me look up their home opponents. Is that what you're doing?
Yeah. Okay.
Eagles. So schedule comes out in May, right?
May. And they bleed it out. Ooh.
So you got the Cowboys, Giants, Commanders.
I got one.
Ooh, Rams, Seahawks. Not the Seahawks, obviously. They're going to have the home game, first game. Panthers, Steelers, Colts, and Texans. It's got to be the Rams.
It's the Rams.
Give me the Rams.
It's the Rams.
The Rams or the shitty communist. That's what I'll
or the shitty Panthers.
I don't know. You know who else I could see? I could see the Giants with Harbaugh and stuff.
How about the new coach in the Steelers? 2 Pennsylvania teams.
Yeah, McCarthy. That was an interesting hire.
How about this? Oh my! No, it's the Seahawks. Oh no, Seahawks is going Thursday.
Nah, yeah, they're going to be the Thursday.
They're going to be Thursday.
Unless you think they put us week 1 against. No, that's not. No, they wouldn't do that, would they?
Oh my God, the defending Super Bowl that's the Thursday night game.
We start on a Thursday
You did
night.
it. You got it. That's the Thursday night game.
And then the Eagles' home opener would be the following week.
Yeah.
We'll see. That could happen. I could see that. Remember, the Eagles have become the face of football. So whenever you put them in a game, your ratings go up. Isn't that right, Sileo?
Hey, as long as AJ's on that team, I'm there with that. That's for damn sure. All right. So, Z, I want you to help me here. So when somebody says this to you, I want you to envision this. I got a brand new car I'm making. This thing is going to have a 357 in it. I've got a Chevelle body. I've got these fucking tires. You're not going to believe these Pirellis I got. They're special Pirellis, $290 a piece. Wait till you see the rims. Wait till you see the highway gears I have in this bitch. I want you to envision it. Now I want to take you through this. Hey, Saquon, what's the offense going to look like? Oh, my God. I can't believe what this thing's going to look like. What do you think is going to be the difference between last year and this year? I don't know. I have no idea. Come on, dog. He's selling me land in the Everglades here.
I mean, the reality is you're right. I mean, he's even John was joking about that this morning. He's like, so Saquon's telling everybody how excited he is for the offense, and then he gets asked in the same exact interview what they're going to do, and he's like, I don't really know. I mean, you can't make this shit up. By the way, you said 357. I thought you were talking about a Magnum. But I don't know what Saquon meant. I mean, I think there's an opportunity that, is this all to help him?
So you think the changes, in your opinion, the changes you think are not for Hurts. They're more for Barkley.
I don't think that. I'm asking the question. I mean,
okay.
John brought that up this morning, and then I followed it up by asking him, all right, so what is the new offense going to be? Because we've had a lot of speculation about the offense to this point because of the changes. I mean, they got rid of Jeff Allen. I mean, look, they made some big changes here. So what comes with those big changes? And if you look at the skill set of the players, it really wouldn't make a whole lot of sense to do what we thought they were going to do originally with the whole West Coasting. Now, they might do a little hybrid version of that, but that's where John, and I'll give everybody a little piece of intel right here, all right? Shh. Something's going to come out tomorrow, okay? Tomorrow morning. I think John said this for a reason, okay? That's all I'll give you. John said this for a reason, I think, today on Monday's Birds 365. Something has transpired in the last 3 or 4 days in Eagle Land at NovaCare Complex that has been barred from the public conversation until Tuesday morning, okay?
When they speak. By the way, they're speaking at the combine.
Right. So I think there was something that was talked about, and John said this morning, I don't think they're doing it for the pass game. I think they're doing all this for the running game. You're going to see more under center stuff. Remember partly what they did in the second half of the year. I think this is all about getting the running game going. Now, it's an unconventional way to do it, and if you would do that, you would think that Jeff Stoutland would be the right guy to keep in the building. But maybe they thought that scheme, the power scheme, is no longer, and that's not the best way to go. Now, with their offensive line and that running back, I think power scheme is much better. But we'll see what they end up doing, man. Also, Texas Tech. Come on, man. I'm not a Patagonia type of guy. This is a Ralph Lauren with the JAKIB logo on it. Come on, Texas Tech. We'll see what they do, Sileo. We'll see what they do.
Would they ever consider signing Kenneth Walker? The Seahawks aren't going to sign him.
Dude, how much you paying in running backs?
AJ goes.
You want to pay 2 running backs?
No.
Kenneth Walker's going to get how much, you think? 15 mil? 12 mil?
No way.
Less than that?
Yeah.
I don't know, dude.
Let's see who he is. Hold on for a second. I'm not paying a guy based off one game. Let me see who he is. And I think that's exactly what John Schneider did.
So you think
John Schneider,
the guy who just won the Super Bowl MVP, is going to walk into free agency and take a haircut?
Well, I'm not here. Let's see who he is. So he had 10, he had 1,050, 900, 573, and 1,027. I'm not paying that guy $15 million.
No, me
I'm
neither.
not paying that guy $8 million.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you.
And that's what they're saying. Hey, just
Market
because
value is Spot Track has the market value at $9 million.
and I think that's rich.
Do you? I don't think that's rich.
Maybe not.
What did Josh Jacobs get?
I think he got 11, no? Or no. He got 8.
He got 4 year 48, so he got 12 and a half.
Wow. Well, that guy's a better back.
I know, 12 and a half is fully guaranteed. It's 12 a year, yeah.
That guy led the NFL in rushing, dude. He was like a 1,600-yard back. Kenneth Walker's a dude, man. This guy had a great game.
If he's $8 million, I would do that.
He's not. That's not special.
Yeah, but here's the problem.
Special.
Here's the problem with the dual running back approach. The
Well,
problem
they do it in Detroit, and they're trying to do it.
I'm not saying that. I love the dual run. I'm in favor of the dual running back approach. But don't you need to utilize the running backs in more ways than just letting them run the football? Like Chicago, they dumped the ball off to Swift. They let him run. You guys remember he had a big play on us in the passing game.
Yes.
All right. You look at the Detroit Lions with Jahmyr Gibbs. I mean, that guy might be better at catching the football than he is running the football.
Yep.
So you have to use them in the passing game to me. And I don't know that, I don't know that that's the skill set of Jalen or the offense. They don't really do that well. And that's fine. Jalen's used to making plays. He's not used to dumping it down. So, he's not that type of quarterback.
I completely agree. Okay. Let me see here. Got another one here for you here. So let me ask you about what are you expecting to hear tomorrow from Howie and Howie and Nick when it came to addressing why they let Stoutman walk out the building. You think they'll address that?
I think they're going to play it the political way like they normally would. Jeff made a decision to go another direction, and we respect that, and we love what he did to for this organization, and he's always an Eagle, and all, the whole 9 yards. They're going to give you the whole spiel, but I don't think they'll address it directly like you're talking about. Well, you're trying to change the offense, and that's why Jeff left. Why did that happen? Do you honestly believe that changing the offense away from that guy is worth it for a 33-year-old guy who's never called plays a day in his life, who's been a position coach in the National Football League for 1 year?
Jesus criminy, man.
I mean, it doesn't – I mean, if I told you that, and you just woke up, you'd be like, what? Why would they do that? So I don't think they're going to address it the way you'd want them to address it, but I'm sure they'll have a song and a dance for it. Bob Lang's been prepping for that for a month.
All right. Here's another one. I wrote this down. Would you think they'll address why they went so inexperienced in the offensive coaching staff?
It's a good question. I'm sure you would hope the question would be asked, but you never know with the media these days. I mean, the media has just gotten really soft, and it's some of their fault, but it's also just the environment of the teams these days. I mean, if a team can revoke your credentials at any given point, then technically they are your master because your job is dependent on that credential. So it doesn't surprise me that there are certain guys who do not want to ask tough questions anymore. But I do think overall the industry has taken a major hit because of that. Just even getting questions and getting answers. It's kind of like they're more press releases now, aren't they? You know what I mean? Like it's for
and more controlled.
Right. It's for the team to get out what they want to get out. It's not for questions to be asked and answered. So, I mean, there will be questions. We'll see how hard they go. It's probably why they had the little powwow before it. But we'll see, man. I think it's a good question. I'm with you. Those are answers that I'd like to have.
Here's another combine question I would like answered, and I would love Howie and maybe even more so Nick on this one. So the pillars of your football team that you have had in the building for quite some time, Lane Johnson, what are you expecting? I mean, in 26, what are you expecting out of him Do you really expect a bounce back all-pro year?
Well, here's the thing. You say bounce back. It's really not a bounce back. It's more the health. Now, I'm going to be as real as possible here. If you want what I believe when it comes to football, I really don't have concerns. If Lane's on the field, I think we're going to be good. The concerns come when you think about Lane is a 300-plus pound dude who's 35 years or however old. I think he's 35 or 36 now. And he had a tough injury, man. I mean,
I think he had a tough year.
Yeah, tough year, a tough injury. I think the mental stuff was getting to him a little bit, as it was kind of reported late in the year for Lane. That stuff is more real to me, and that's what I'm looking for. But if Lane Johnson's trotting out there, Sileo, I don't have concerns. Now, how long does he stay? How many games does he play? These are all very valid and real questions. My expectation right now is greatness when he's on the field or close to it. Maybe not the same, doesn't give up a sack all year type of thing, but a pretty damn good right tackle, 12 or 13 games like we set a little bit ago, and the playoffs. If you get that out of Lane Johnson, to me, that's a home run. That's a slam dunk for the year for him.
A.J. Brown. Is there for sale signs on the window? Or
I like
do you
doing the bid to buy.
Is there for sale signs, or is there an open for business sign on the front door?
I think a little bit of, I like you doing the, bit of bit of buy, sold and high bidder. Hey, the Chargers, you got this bit of I like you doing that.
New England, one of the 3 and a 7. So, okay, over here,
exactly.
We got another one over here. Baltimore, what do you got? A 1 and a 3 and a 4? We're in there. Where you got over here? No. Hey, Cincinnati, we're out. Okay, no. Arizona, no. Okay, nobody. Over here, wait a minute. Chicago. Are they open for business, Z?
I think they are, dude. How are they not? I don't think they want to move them, but I don't think they're not picking up the phone. And I think what you're going to have to do here is the unique position that the Eagles are in is it's tough to move on from AJ because of the cap. But here's what's unique about this situation, which I actually think plays to the Eagles' favor. Okay? I don't know if you've heard this anywhere. The contract situation with AJ gives the Eagles leverage because in order for me to make that move, you have to make it worth my while. So I'm not going to send you A.J. Brown for a second-round pick. I don't want it. I have to eat weight. I'm going to be eating $25 million cap hit, dead cap, at the same time I'm making a second-round pick. That's no good for me. So if you want me to eat that dead cap hit and you want this talented player, you're going to have to pay a premium for that. So I think that's how Howie's going to approach it. I'm not moving AJ. That's the facade. I imagine you're going to hear that tomorrow. AJ's a great player. We don't want to get rid of great players. That's what I think you'll hear, and I think they're going to try and use that.
That's actually not answering the question, though. When somebody says to me, "Hey, what's the latest on AJ?" We don't. We love him. He's a great player. You don't move great players. That's a lawyer's answer.
It is.
Because that's not really addressing it. How about this?
What's the difference?
How about this? I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll trade him, but you got to eat some of that money. Make the other team.
I mean, that's right? Leverage too. I mean, we already think we're going to get what? Maybe a 3 or a 2 probably is what I'm starting to hear maybe one of these teams like Buffalo and New England, you might get that one. Well, dude, this is why. I mean, me and John talked about this morning. The free agency class is trash right now. The hardest thing about signing Jalen Phillips is going to be that because you got 20 teams who need an edge rusher and you got 0 on the market and you got the Raiders asking for a Micah Parsons package for Max Crosby, which they're not getting. So how valuable does that make Jalen Phillips as a free agent?
I think it's pretty good edge rushing class that's coming out of college.
In the draft. Well, yeah, but that's different for a team that wants to compete right now. You know, you don't
Agree.
draft a guy to fix if you're a
Agree.
contender. You know,
Agree.
you got to get a player.
Agree.
So I think I weirdly think that there is some leverage that the Eagles can create here with the contracts and with the lack of talent. I mean, if you're the Patriots, it's like, do you want to go to Tyreek Hill and pair him up with Stephon Diggs and just wait for that thing to explode? Or do you want to get AJ Brown, who's, by the way, did you see him? Did you see the troll continue after our show?
No. What did he
He's
do?
walking into Gillette Stadium with Edelman.
Oh, I saw I posted that picture.
He's like looking on at Gillette like he's a young Patriots fan. He's like dreaming.
Didn't it say something like home or what? What did it?
I mean, it's so funny because I'm like, AJ, you play in NFL stadiums. You're not supposed to be wowed by stadiums, dude. You know, that's for the rest of the people. But it is what it is. The troll continued with AJ. We'll see, man. It's gonna be interesting to see what they do there, isn't it?
Yeah, completely. I think they're, like you said. I think what it is that, you don't have a for sale sign out front of your house, but everybody knows your house is for sale. It's kind of like that, I mean, you want to move and you want to get out, you want to upgrade.
Yeah, but you're also not opening the door if somebody's not giving
No. I'm not opening it for anyone. How about this? I think they would move him if the situation's right. And can I tell you what the situation would be right? Cleveland. And I know they won't go back to Tennessee, but I'll tell you what, if I'm Tennessee, I would want A.J. Brown there with Cam Ward. I would want him in the building with a young quarterback. So to me, I'm like, I don't know. What version of Landon Dickerson are you getting back? Oh, by the way, real quick on A.J., you think if he is here, you think he has a bounce back year?
Define bounce back, like 1,300, somewhere in that range.
Yeah, he hasn't had those numbers in 3 years now.
Yeah, 2 seasons. No, I don't think a bounce back year would come. I think a Devontae Smith year would come.
That's what I think.
I think Devontae Smith fits what we think they're trying to do a little better than AJ. So
I could see 1,300 yards for him.
I could too. Now, what I don't think, and I love Devontae Smith, but what I don't think is this. John brought up an interesting name this morning, and he wasn't saying this is going to happen. He's just saying this is how teams will think about it. The Seahawks got rid of DK Metcalf, and you got Jackson Smith and Jigma becoming the best receiver in football and winning a Super Bowl. Now, I love Devontae. I don't think he's different quarterback, different system, different offense. I don't think that would happen with Devontae, but I do wonder if the Eagles are thinking about that. Do we even need 2 receivers anymore? Maybe not. I don't know.
See, again,
back to your wait, you want me to answer your Dickerson question? We'll go there. We'll get there.
One thing I got to say before we go to Dickerson is that Jalen Hurts had 300 completions last year. And I pointed out 79 of those were to a tight end and the third wideout. I mean, those numbers that the wide receivers in Philadelphia get.
That's too little completions. 300 completions?
300 completions he had.
That's less than 20 completions a game.
Correct. And you're going to up that volume?
Yeah, I think Jalen's capable of more than that. Come on.
Then why haven't they done it?
Well, I think the thing that you said a little bit ago actually nailed it. I mean, this offense didn't change when the only thing that you can really point to that changed this offense on its damn head was Saquon.
Yes.
And I think they tried to relive that again with Saquon last year. And I think they're determining that if they're going to go that route, they're going to have a different look. They're going to have to do different things. They're going to have to create different opportunities for the receivers, to get involved. So,
all right.
I don't know.
So Lane Johnson, we're still kind of not sure what he's going to look like coming back, but we think even a 75%, he's better than anything that you could possibly ever put at that right tackle position. So I get that. How about Landon Dickerson? I mean, are you expecting him to bounce back to what?
From a strictly health perspective, Landon concerns me more than Lane.
Okay.
And there's multiple prongs to that.
By the way, I'm going over all your pillars on your team moving into 26, free agency and also the draft. That's what I'm doing here.
Yeah, I like it. Landon, the question with Landon is not, it's the injuries, obviously. It's the way, sometimes a lot of life is mental, right? I mean, how many of you have heard that saying where life is 90%, to the
same in the NFL.
Mental. It's the same thing, right, across anywhere. So when I heard Landon was feeling the injuries to the point where he questioned himself as a player and whether he should continue, that makes me wonder a little bit about whether, if you're going to get back to form, the first thing you got to do before your body gets in line is your mind has to be in line. You have to believe, I'm going to get back. There's not a shadow of doubt in my mind I'm going to get there. If I want to be successful, I can't think of myself as a bum. If I want to be a great guard, I can't think of myself as an injured, broken down guard. So I'm concerned about that, one. I'm concerned, too, about the offense for him. I mean, I look at Lane and Mailata and Cam, and I think they fit the new offense better than Landon. Now, that's not to say it's a perfect fit for them, but I think they fit it better than Landon is like, dude, he's like big country, beat the shit out of you, maul you, and beat you to death in the inside zone game. Like, that's why he's one of the biggest reasons they've been able to play football the way they have.
Yeah.
Power football, inside zone, tush push. I mean, these are all things that happen because Landon Dickerson is an unstoppable force on the offensive line. If that goes away or you have him playing more of a finesse style, and he's got the knees and he's got the ankles, oh boy, I don't like that, Sills.
This would be the last year for Landon if they go down that lane. And I'm going to make a point to what you just said. Let me tell you something, and I've told you this before. I've had elbow surgery. I've had elbow surgeries over here. I've had my hands, every single finger's been broken. I've broken my wrist. I've had elbow surgery. I've had neck surgery. I've had 2 knee surgeries. My calf is exploded.
You've had neck surgery?
Yeah. I've had knee scope.
Okay.
And I've had knee surgery. My left calf is annihilated. Both my feet have had surgeries on them. Bro, that guy's had like way more. And I'm telling you, I'm into shape and I would do it all over again. I'm not moaning. I'm just telling you. It makes you cry sometimes. Like getting cut is the fucking worst thing on the planet. And some players just, you know why they stop, Xander? They stop because they don't want to go through the rehab. They'd rather have the body part. They'd rather, I know so many men that just like they just stop playing because they can't go on anymore. They want to go on. They want to continue to play. But dude, one day you look like this, dude. You look in the mirror and you just look and you go, that's it, man. I got a fucking, I stopped playing at 34 and I'm like this. I got to go, man. This is not, I'm chasing my tail here. I'm playing in 1,000 different leagues. And I remember going to my wife and telling her, I go, yeah, I'm done. She's like, wow. You've been playing like since you were like 8 years old. I'm going like,
you bring up a very real thing though. I mean, that is real, for football play. I think sometimes, there's just a thought problem. I mean, they make
all the money. I'm not crying about it.
Celebrities now, and they make all the money now. You know what I mean? Like, I think there's like the common person, which I understand it. Doesn't really care. They're like, I don't give a shit about your injuries, dude. You're making $30 million. You know what I mean? Like, I think that, but the reality is, there is still a human being behind that contract, behind that money, behind that, everything you see at the surface.
Dude, money doesn't cover pain. Money doesn't cover pain.
I know that.
I mean, this guy's going down getting Brazilian butt tucks. And he's down in Brazil here doing. All right, so let me give you another benchmark guy. You expect Barkley. What are you expecting out of him? I'll tell you what I put down here. I put 1,100 yards and 8 touchdowns. I'm not expecting any more than that. Are you?
I'm expecting a little more.
Huh? Like,
I don't. You know, here's the thing, though. I'll fully admit this. That's an Eagle homer take. I mean, dude, this guy. I mean, look, I'm a fan of Saquon. Obviously, great player. This is his 9th season. All right, that's a long time for running backs. That's a long time. Most running backs will never live to see their 9th season in the NFL. Over 80%, I would bet, might even be higher. So 9 years, he's been running, you know, in Philly as much as he has. He obviously had the massive year last year with over 400 carries. I can acknowledge that it's Eagle homer, but I still think he's got it in him, man. I still think he's a great talent. I still think he's got the athleticism. I still think he has the speed, you know, the agility that he needs, but
does he have the desire? And I mean by the desire to want to be hit.
That's a fair point.
Running back, sometimes, Xander, it's not about.
He's been relatively healthy since he showed up in Philly. I don't think he ever had 2 straight years of health in New York, ever. You know, he just put in 2 seasons. Like he might be feeling confident about that.
So how many carries did he have total in that 24 season? Do you remember? Was that 400 something?
400, 400 plus with the playoffs. But he also had 2,500 yards.
Okay, so he had like, oh yeah, no. So he had. Let's just go 400.
See, I actually think it's the 24, the yards, or the touches are a thing for sure. But you know, you look at some of those touches, like that play that went viral. That's on the Madden cover where he's hurdling over somebody backwards. Go rewatch that play and watch how hard of a hit Saquon takes on that. He got fucking clobbered on that. I'm not kidding. He got clobbered from behind. Like his neck goes like this, hits so hard, almost whiplash. I mean, you could see him get up and he's like, whew, he's got to get off the field. So I think it's those hits, man, that really do a number on a player. You know, the hits that you don't get hurt on, but man, you wake up the next day and you feel, you know. So we'll see. I don't know what Saquon's going to be this year. Do you think he's going to have a better year?
No, I think he's going to have the same year. And I'll tell you, let me throw this at you here. In the last 1, 2, 3, 4 years, Saquon Barkley has run the ball for 1,300 carries. That's 4 years.
That's a lot of carries, dude.
And he's going to be 29 years old when the season starts.
Yeah, 9th season in the NFL, dude. That's a long time.
Okay, 1,300 carries in 4 years. At 39, he ain't Henry.
No, he's not. He's not. And that's no knock on him, by the way.
No.
Derrick Henry's
Hall of Famer.
That dude looks like he was legitimately looks like he was built in a fucking laboratory.
Dude, people go like this. Yeah, he had a down year this year. And I'm like, he had 1,595.
He did have some tough fumbles and stuff, I think is what people think about.
He had 4, though, total. But 2 cost him.
2 cost him the game, right?
Yeah.
But we'll see, man. Saquon's a tough one. Look, I've been calling for it, Sills. I called for it last year. I'm a fan of the 2 running back approach. We just talked about it a little bit ago in this segment. You got a 29-year-old back in year 9, all right, who's not an easy contract to move on from. Put somebody around him that can take some of that workload. I mean, that's the logical thing to do.
Look at all these question marks. I got another one here for you. All right. What are you expecting with Cameron?
Not every Sileo question mark has merit. All right. They might have merit in the Sileo mind or in those who are Sileoized, but
stop taking my cape off.
Well, listen, I might be taking some Sileoized edibles soon. You know, that line might drop soon. If weed goes legal in PA, we're dropping the Sileoized.
Cameron. What about Cameron? What about your boy Jurgens?
I'm more concerned about him than I am about Landon. Backs freak me out. Always have. Always have freaked me out.
boy, man.
Wait, I got a story for you.
Okay.
This is why Dak's concerned me. And I understand this is not the same comparison. But I've told the story about how my mom battles MS, and she's been battling that. Well, if you ask my mom right now, what's her bigger battle? Is it MS or is it her back pain? She'll tell you her back pain every single day. There's nothing wrong. She hasn't had back surgery or anything like that. She just has back pain. She got, and to loop it full circle with Cam Jurgens, you know what my mom got?
What?
She got stem cell treatment from Dr. Bruce Grosinger, who many know.
Yeah, he's been on. I know him well.
Yes. She got stem. Now, my mom is not Cam Jurgens. It's age or an athlete like Cam. It's not the perfect comp. But my point is, backs linger, man. They're weird. They're hard to fit. When she got her stem cells, the first thing they told her is, there's no guarantee this is going to work.
Bernie had stem cells.
Who?
We should get Bernie on again. He had stem cell replacement after he went and did his liver surgery.
Did he?
And transplant. He had stem cell.
I mean, it's a big thing. But my mom still has back pain. So
well, she's managing it now.
She's managing it, but
it's not going away.
I was with her this weekend. She's like, "Oh, my back is killing me."
I know she watches the show.
It's just real, back shit.
It ain't going away. You got to manage it.
I know. And you think about Cam, right? Who is a center, who's down, who's constantly taking on pressure on the back. I mean, I can't think of a worse thing to do if you have back pain. To get hit by 300-pound defensive tackles every play. I mean, that's not fun. So we're gonna see. I'm pretty concerned about Cam.
Do you think Howie Roseman goes Timu shopping this free agent season, or do you think he goes to Neiman Marcus?
I don't think he goes to Neiman Marcus. I don't think Neiman Marcus is open this season. I mean, who's Neiman Marcus?
If you want to make I could trade with the Raiders.
Dude, I'm sorry. Like, you can think that Max Crosby's the greatest player.
I don't.
To send a Micah Parsons package for him would be absolutely stone cold insanity. I would never do that. And I don't think the Eagles should do it. So if you're going to put him out there, I mean,
I'd give you a 1 for him.
Yeah, 1. That's a lot different than 2 ones.
No way.
So we'll see.
Would you give him AJ for AJ in a 1?
No. AJ a 1. I got to eat $30 million in cap hit. I'm taking on a $30 million guy. That's insane. Not doing that.
How about
I'll give you AJ a 3?
How about this? How about AJ and a 1, and you have to give me a 3 back?
Still don't like it. I'm giving up my 1. How am I going to give
up
my
or 1? You give me a 2 back. You give me your 2 back because they don't have a 2.
It's a little more doable. But
and you got to eat some of that money. Dude, these trades can all happen. It's all about being creative here. All right, let me ask you this question. How do you think the Eagles are going to stockpile the weapons in this new offense? Who do you think is going to be the new head of the snake in this offense?
When you say head of the snake, you mean like the last couple of years it's been Barkley, and before that it was like, what do you mean by head of the snake?
Who's the offense going to go through? Is it going to go through AJ? Is it going to go through Barkley? Is it going to be more Hurts? Is it going to be more spread? Who's going to be the head of the snake here in this? Because, again, we've seen 2 versions of the Eagles. The 2022 team was led by A.J. Brown. That's how you got there. The 2014 was led by Saquon Barkley. You tell me, how are they going to use all these weapons in this new Sean Mannion offense here? Who's the team going to – who's the offense going to run through?
I'd like to think it's got to go a little bit more through Hurts. And that doesn't mean I'm asking Hurts to do everything. But I think you have Sean Mannion coming in, who's a former quarterback. He's a quarterback's coach. I mean, this guy's a quarterback through and through. And I would think that his view of offense would be through the quarterback's lens, which, is what he played. That's where he was in the NFL for. That's what his position coach was. I mean, you would think that things got to go through the lens of the quarterback. Now, that doesn't mean that Jalen Hurts has to make every single play. That's not what I'm saying at all. But I do think it's going to go a little bit more through Hurts. I mean, I think they could they give him more decisions again at the line of scrimmage? I mean, that worked a little better for Hurts when he had – the question there is, though, if he's not going to run, then the decision doesn't mean shit, The decision's already pre-made if you're not interested in running. So, but I think Jalen. I think Jalen's the guy that's going to run through a little bit more this year. But, I mean, look, you're going to have a good combination. You've got too many talented players to run it all through one. You're not Josh or Patrick Mahomes. You don't have to. If you're in Kansas City, you better run that offense through Mahomes or you're done. If you're in Buffalo, you better run it through Josh Allen or you're done. You have good talent here in Philadelphia. A lot of versatile talent in different areas. I think Jalen's going to be the facilitator, but they'll get everybody involved. At least that's the hope.
These are some names I've written down now. And by the way, I've watched that Caden Proctor guy. He is a freaking horse.
Yeah, he's a big dude.
I mean, he looks like a Philadelphia Eagle offensive
and super
line.
athletic, Sills.
I mean, have you seen his forearms?
Dude, I watched him every game this year.
Man.
So he's so athletic, they would put him out in the flat and throw him the ball. I hated when they did it because I'm like, that's our left tackle. Why is he catching the football in the flat? But they did it because he's that athletic. Kind of reminds me of my Lotta, Sills.
Yeah. Yep. I also wrote down Keldrick Falk, edge, Auburn. He's 6'6", 270.
I like that size, man. I think so. I think we need a big ass edge. Now Jalen Phillips is a lot closer.
Bro, he's 20 years old too.
Man, now Jalen Phillips is pretty big. He's 6'6", probably too, right?
Yep, he is. And by the way, Jalen Phillips, when you look at him from the seats, you don't think he's that big until you're standing next to him.
That's exactly what John McMullen said. When he got traded here, John McMullen's first words were, "I did not realize that he's as big as that." He's a big dude.
He's a big guy, man. That kid that tied in from Oregon, my friend Bruce Feldman told me
I like him, but Eagles aren't going to draft him.
He's on like some sort of freak list. That Iona kid from Penn State, offensive guard, seemingly right. Monroe Freeling, OT, Georgia. They've got my boy Akeem Messidor, and Jason Taylor goes like this to me. He goes, we got to do something here for Messidor. Messidor wants to play in Philly. I said, well, he would love Clint Hurt. So supposedly Jason Taylor and Mario have contacted Clint Hurt on Messidor. So I know Clint likes him a lot.
Yeah, well, that's interesting. I mean, we'll see what they end up doing there. It's going to be interesting, man. There's a lot of different ways. The fun part about this offseason is that it can go so many directions. AJ could be back. AJ could change. The offense could look a little similar to what it did last year. It could become a West Coast spread outside zone. I don't know. I don't think they'll do that, but we're going to see, man. There's a lot left up. And so did they put out a time for Howie and Nick tomorrow?
I thought I heard 2:35 to like 3 something.
Right at the middle of the national.
Yes, sir, baby. You got to make sure you give Big Sil some.
Right in the middle of the national football show.
By the way, we have tomorrow. Doug Peterson's on at 3:30.
I'm super stoked for that, man. It's going to be awesome. So looking forward to it, brother.
All right, man. I appreciate you, bro.
Thank you, Sills. I'll see you tomorrow, man. Later.
Got you, man. Make sure you check out Bird 365. Yes, sir. Without further ado, now before I bring JAKIB in, I want to know what kind of sign he thinks is going to be out front of the Eagle complex. For sale or open for business? Is it going to be open for business for A.J. Brown? Without further ado, Fox 29, my friend, a brother from another mother. How you doing? That is JAKIB. He joins us now here. How you doing, my friend?
Good. Doing well. this is always exciting, every year when you get to this time when they start talking about looking at some of these players, man. I'm telling you, whew, look at some of these kids, man. The size of these kids. That's the thing now is the size of players now. Oh my goodness. When I go into that locker room or whatever, I'm going like, hey, where are they getting these kids from? I mean, they're just getting bigger and bigger. And you guys were talking about offensive linemen, man. The Eagles got some kids that don't even play in that are backup offensive linemen. I mean, 6'7", 6'8", and they're developing these kids. And see, that's something that's interesting because now with the change in offensive line coach, of course, these kids, you don't know whether they're going to stay or they're going to go. I imagine they're going to have to fight for their space because they were being developed. See, they were being developed. And so, think of it, you look at the fact that they got an offensive tackle, a Pro Bowl offensive tackle, that they developed. They took a couple years to develop him,
Gary, you're making a point here on something that I want to expand on. I never thought about that, but this. When a brand new coach comes in, whether he's a position coach or not, the reason why veterans like you don't like change, man, you don't want to have to reprove yourself to some other dude, man. I don't want to have to sit here and go through the ropes and make this guy understand who I am. I've already put my time in. That's why veteran guys like yourself, see, rookie guys like me, I like that because that means they're going to put me more on an even keel. But veterans, they don't like that kind of change.
Yeah, that's
How
right.
much do you think that affects the guys that are in the building all these new changes on offense?
I think that is definitely something that's going to play in, because, as guys have played a while, they don't want to play those games. They're kind of, a little stubborn. They're going, hey, I showed what I can do in this league. I don't need to prove myself anymore. But yet with new coaches, you got to prove yourself again. So that is going to be something that's going to play in. That's why, I heard you guys you're talking. You got Sean Mannion, of course, who's going to be looking over everybody, and also Chris Cooper. Those guys on the offensive side. And you really wonder if the health of the players are going to play in. How healthy are the Eagles' offensive line? So that's going to be something we need to keep an eye on because there could be a change or some changes, and they're also going to have an effect upon the draft. Not that they're going to be making the pick, but they're going to say, hey, I need something. Am I happy with this? Am I happy with that guy? They're going to be telling, the whole, the Eagles draft team, which they got a whole group of guys making the play. But Howie Roseman is the guy ultimately that is going to make the final say. But all of these scouts, see, they kind of have a debate. That's the way the Eagles do it. Is they have, the different people in their scouting department and coaches. They'll let them come in and make an argument for a player. Why should we take this guy? And then they'll let them somebody else come in and make an argument for another player. And so they can look at the sides of things and think about. But they let the coaches do that type of thing. After looking over a player, they'll let guys over there in the draft department do that. But a good argument, because they want to make a good argument. They don't want to just taking a guy, everybody agrees with. No, we would like to hear some of the pluses or minuses about that player. See, so they have this debate, and that's what's going to be going on over at the Eagles. They're going to be having debates about this player, and you can see that their method of doing things has been very good to them in that they sit down and argue about these players. They let a coach or somebody in the draft department make arguments for or against a certain player, and that way they get everything. They need to get everything out on the table, see. So
Gary,
that's what they try to do.
So help me out on this one here. So when I was in the pros, I got coached by Ernie Stautner. I got coached by who's the guy in Detroit we had? Oh my God, the silver-haired guy, the blonde-headed guy we had him as our D-line coach. I had Butch Davis, and when I go to another guy,
Yeah.
All of a sudden, here I'm going with a new dude at defensive line who I know doesn't know any. Lamar Leachman. Remember Lamar Leachman? So Lamar Leachman in Detroit. I had Lamar Leachman in Detroit. I had Ernie Stautner and I had Butch Davis. And these guys were just brilliant in teaching me the D-line position. All of a sudden, I get a new guy that I know is coming in from college, or a new guy that's like, I mean, what does this guy now know? This guy, Chris Cooper, what can he possibly teach me that Jeff Stoutland didn't teach me? How do I embrace that? How do I embrace that? If you're Lane Johnson or you're when you got guys, and you've been through this too, you get some of the best linebacker coaches, some of the best coaches on the planet, and you put a dude in front of me that was marginally successful in Minnesota, and I'm listening to the guy, and I'm going, yeah, I don't know. I mean, how do you embrace that?
You know, as a player, if you want to be there, you know, you're gonna have to cater to it. If you come in with an attitude like, you know, I don't want to be bothered with it, you know, if you have that kind of attitude, you know, that could get you moved. You know, that could get you moved because that's going to have an effect of, you know, the personal relationship, without a doubt, has an effect. You know, of course, what you do on the field should be the main thing, but your relationship with that coach as a person is going to play into it, you know, because it always does. But, you know, it should be about the player. What do you do on the field? That's what it should be about. And ultimately, that's what it will be about. And really, it's going to be a change. You know, they're going to be running the offenses a bit more. I mean, a bit differently, because just in hearing, I was listening to Jason Kelsey, and he was talking about the differences in the offensive, especially the running game, the different running game they're going to be bringing in. And he was talking about it and how that, you know, the Eagles offensive line, they're going to see some things different, that they're not going to do things the same way that they did previously. So there's going to be a change. And if you got a player now, you know, you think of some of their guys, you know, who have been there so long, you know, are they going to be, I mean, I don't see them be ready to do the dance. They're not going to be ready to do the dance.
Yeah, that's what are they going to dance? I don't know, man.
Well, you got to do a dance a bit.
Absolutely.
When you get a new coach, you know, especially if he says, okay, we don't want to do it like that. We want to do it like this. You know, it could be just some subtle technique of how you execute this block. And I've sat in those meetings and I've seen it happen on the offensive side of the ball, seen it happen on the defensive side of the ball, where you got a new coach, and you could have a new head coach, a new position coaches, but they all want things a certain way. You know, they're used to getting things a certain way, and the Eagles are going to be running a different offense. Their run offense, now, the run offense they had last year, it was horrible. They were so inconsistent. They had, I bet you they had the most tackles for loss of anybody in the NFL. I mean, come on, it's horrible. How many times Saquon Barkley got trapped in the backfield with 3 guys tackling him? You're going like, would somebody block somebody? You know, 3 guys in the back. Now, they're not gonna run the offense the same way. And as I said, you know, listening to Jason Kelsey talk about the new way that they're going to be doing things. And, you know, they're going to be running off tackle and they're going to be showing different looks. And I'll tell you, I don't know how they're going to play it. You know, I've hear names popping up about tight end, but the tight end's going to be a key role, going to be playing a key role in offense, you know.
Could you see them going in the draft and picking up another one, because they're kind of thin? Maybe not first round, but maybe like one of the picks that they have. Gary, here, let me show you this here.
So, because I definitely think so. See, because of what I said last week about the Rams, you see how the Rams are. It's so important. You have some tight ends that can block. Now, not all the guys they got here can block. You know, and a tight end that can't block does not fit into a running offense.
No way.
Come on, where one of the keys is you put so much pressure on the linebackers because they got to cover this guy. and they got to be him, when he tries to run block. And so if you got good run blockers with your tight ends, it really puts a lot of pressure on the defense, because when you got the tight ends in there, that's a running look. But when you go play action, you hardly have any time to adjust when you find all of a sudden, no, it's a play action pass rather than a run. So I think they are going to get at least one tight end in the draft.
Gary, what about A.J. Brown? Obviously, I think the big storyline heading into the combines, as you know, it's not just, the underwear Olympics, guys running around in shorts.
Yeah.
There's agents there. There's general managers. Everybody hangs out there at St. Elmo's, cutting deals. And when March 11th hits, all those deals get done. Surprisingly, bam. Well, they're starting to put the deals together now, and those deals will come out on the 11th at 4 p.m. Eastern time. Is A.J. Brown, are they open for business, you think, on listening to deals, the Eagles right now? Do you believe?
I think without a doubt that they're going to be in there talking about it. And but I would be surprised if they did something early. I would think that they're probably going to try to wait. That way they can make sure they get as much as they can get, the best deal they can get.
So you think closer to the draft gives you more leverage on getting more value?
That's right. I think that's what they're probably, they're talking, but they really want to wait till later on, because they know when teams got some heat on them, when there's a time situation there where you got to make a decision, they could put more pressure on him and probably get a better deal if they're gonna move him. And then at the same time, I think that if they felt that he could be here and be happy here and everything, the offensive coaches would rather have him here, So you got that element. But
is it at the point of no return though right now for both parties?
I don't think so. But I don't think I don't think the Eagles know. And I think that the whole thing is they're going to talk to AJ, and they really want to get a honest, honest answer from him as to whether he wants to play here or not. Because if he feels he can't play here because of whatever said, this, that, and the other, then that's a different story. Then they'll still keep it under their hat. They're not going to tell everybody, oh, AJ doesn't want to play here anymore. They probably would like to keep it under their hat, because if it gets out, then his value's lessened. Yes. Then everybody's going to say, why am I going to give up a lot? I mean, I want to get him, but I want to get him for nothing. So that's why, or and I don't think this would ever happen where he would be just out there because they would just release him. I don't think it's going to get to the point.
You think it's up to the team right now, or you think it's up to AJ right now? What he wants to have happen?
I think it's probably up to AJ, because I think that, the new coaches, they look at tape. Do they want a talented player, another talented weapon on? The offensive coordinator would like to have more weapons than less weapons. So he would like to have AJ here. So I think that that's probably going to be up to AJ, from the standpoint that does he feel, that, he can't play, he can't be happy playing here and everything. And I think in AJ's point too is that he hasn't played for this guy, and he probably figures it's going to be best for him too, because, you got DJ out there, you got him, he's a threat. You got Saquon. He could end up going to an offense with garbage out there to play against. Now, how are you going to be productive if you got teammates that are garbage? He could end up going to that type of team.
Yeah, he could go to Cleveland.
Yeah, he could go there where he's fighting for his life. He's getting double teamed. The time he comes out of the locker room, we got two guys following him to the field. I mean, that's what he could wind up with. He doesn't want that. But, but I think but AJ sometimes, I think it's a lot of emotion, man. I don't think he thinks through everything, because, I don't think all of this would have happened, if he thought through everything from that standpoint. But he is getting older, and I can see where he's kind of playing things like, even though last year he did have some things to say, which I felt he was in a tough situation, because the offense, somebody needed to say, look, we need to do more with this offense. we got to be more aggressive. We got to be able to use our talent better. And I thought he was trying to say that. And everybody else that was on the offense should have been saying it too.
Gary, do you agree, though? I wonder, does the new, young, inexperienced staff, does that inspire AJ to want to be here when you have so many, they're talking about a new offense that they've never, this is just concepts. This guy, Sean Mannion's never put a playbook of his own in play at all in his entire career. He's only been a coach for 2 years. So this is all concepts. This is not anything he's gone to a game with. I mean, do you think all of that inspires AJ to want to come back?
Well, I think that, Sean Mannion will be coming in here, and he does have the plays he wants to run. I think because he's seen them. He's seen them when he was out there with the Rams. He knows the plays that they would like to run. And, with the talent that they have here, because you got some talented players, there are certain things they could do with AJ, which puts so much pressure on a defense. Because he's so big and physical for a wide receiver, certain things are going to be nearly impossible for other teams to stop. So they could sell him on that, and I would imagine that Sean Mannion is probably trying to do that now. That, I don't know that he's had that much time to really put in plays per se for AJ, but I'm sure he's thinking that way when you got a guy this big and physical. I mean, think about it. What's my man's name with the Rams? The receiver that caught all the touchdowns
Devontae Adams.
Devontae Adams. Now, you don't think that when they see Devontae Adams, they're saying, oh, A.J. Brown, Devontae Adams, a lot of things in common. Look how many touchdowns he caught. When they get in the red zone.
Led the NFL.
Yeah. When they get in the red zone, who can deal with A.J. from a strength standpoint? What cornerbacks in the league can be as physical as he can be in the red zone and everything? So I think that's something you could use to sell AJ. But the thing is, though, they got to be put into the nonsense and everything. It's got to be football, man. Later for, all the nonsense stuff, they got to get. Some of the stuff that happens, man. Look, you guys got a chance. You guys had a chance to win another Super Bowl. You got all this talent. You don't have time for nonsense, man. And the thing about it, he got to know that he could catch over 100 balls in this offense, AJ. So
okay.
I think that
I hear you, man. I'm selling him on this here. All right, couple more questions.
Maybe I need to sell him.
Couple more questions.
100 catches.
What kind of Lane Johnson are you getting back?
Well, I know he's already started working out. They showed him over there.
Hey, you can work out all you want.
I know.
You know better than anybody because you're a 10+ year guy. You know better than anybody.
At some point, your body's telling you can't keep doing this. And the fact that he was out
Gary,
so much last year.
How tough was that for you? How tough was that for you when it came down?
It was tough. It was tough. You got to admit it that you can't keep doing this because first it's the knee, then it's the elbow or whatever. Then it's your ankle, and your body's telling you this is over, man. You can't keep doing this. And that to really play the way you want to play, you got to push your body. And when you push your body and, it's coming up with injuries after injury, it's time. Now you don't have to go tell everybody real loud, but inside, it's over, So, and I think that Lane has got to be getting to that point. And the guy always come in the camp in the best of shape and everything. He works very, very hard. But I don't know if it's that time, but the Eagles have a choice in this too. So we'll have to see. I don't know.
They want him back, right?
What's that now?
You think they want him back, right?
Yeah, I think they want him back. I think they want him back, but they know it's near the end of his career. They know that too. They wanted him back last year during the season. But I think that they're definitely looking at tackles in this draft. I'll tell you that.
Okay. What kind of Barkley are you going to get back this coming year? I want to throw something at you here. He'll be 29 years old when the season starts. Last 4 years, counting his last 2 years in New York, he's carried the ball 1,300 times. Boy, a lot of carries for a guy getting up there.
Yeah.
This guy's not Derrick Henry. Okay. Mm-hmm. And we saw a little bit of a drop off this past year. Now, again, a drop off from what he did the year previous. It was an electric year, and it was one of those Roger Maris type years, where it's one in a million that you're ever going to see anything like that again. What version of Saquon Barkley do you think they're going to get back this year?
Well, doggone it. I mean, I still saw these bursts, man.
Yeah, but aren't they moments?
Yeah, I guess they are. But he showed that he still got that burst, man. When he's like running a 4.3 and zoom, he's gone and everybody's out of the screen and everything. But I think that that in this offense, they're going to be able to utilize him best. And I think that they need to do more is getting him out in open field, where it's either a short pass, screens, draws. But the big thing is getting him out in the open field. And I think that they've shown that they're able to do this in this offense where they get the ball to running backs out in the open field. And I think that that's what you want to do more. Maybe he doesn't run the ball as much, but you're getting the ball to him out in open field where he's working against, defensive backs, and he's able to utilize his combination of size and speed out there. So I think that's probably what we're going to see more of that. But of course, they got another young kid over there. So I don't know how they thinking. I guess maybe thinking of letting him touch the ball, 25 to 30 times or 20 to 25 times a game.
So you think they up the volume with Barkley?
No. I say 20 to 25 times a game. But I think that they want to get the ball to him more pass plays, short pass plays, getting it out.
Oh, so you're talking total touches.
That's right. I'm talking total touches, right? Yeah.
Because
I don't think you're going to just see where they're just going to pound the ball with him. I think what you're going to see is them getting the ball to him out in places where he's one-on-one and in situations where he gets the ball and he's basically running the ball against the secondary rather than the linemen and the linebackers.
Okay, so Gary, Jalen Hurts. So this new offense is being implemented. How much patience do you think the new coaches are going to have with this? And where I'm going with that is, if they're doing all these new things, and I really don't know what the level, even Saquon was asked a question the other day. He goes, what's the new offense going to look like? He goes, I really don't know, but I'm excited about what we're going to do, what we're going to try. How much struggling do you think the quarterback has? And I don't care who you are. When you pick up a new defense, you go from a 34 to a 43. Yeah. Gary, we all struggle going from one style because everything's got different techniques.
That's right.
And you and I know 34, 43, they're different. One's one gap, the other's kind of a two gap for D linemen. Yep. You're taking more of the guards on, slips and scoops and all that. It takes an adjustment period.
That's correct.
How long do you think that adjustment period is going to be with this new offense?
Well, knowing the way Jalen works, he's going to start working on this stuff and really want to start running the offense, as early now in the offense. I don't know all the ways in which they're going to do this, but with the one of the things he likes to do is work with his receivers and getting out there and starting to run the routes. And seeing how they're going to run these routes and talking to them about it so that he knows what they're going to do and everything. And, Jalen has been around this, long enough, I think, that where he knows that he's got to have success. So, what you're saying, he's heard him say that, hey, he can't do this and he can't do that. So he knows he's got to come in here and prove himself. So, one thing the guy has never been accused of is not working enough. So he's going to put in the work. I'm sure that the The receivers they have are going to want to get involved with it, and so they're going to start working right away. He knows he's got to master this, and he's going to be getting to know the coach. Coach going to be getting to know him, and they're going to get to work on this. So I imagine they're doing that right now as we talk.
I got one last question for you here, and I want to go down this list here, and I want to show you something here that's going to happen over the next 3 years.
Yeah.
We all agree Jordan Mailata's probably got, what, 5 more years?
Yeah, I would say 5 more years.
Okay,
yeah.
5 more years.
Okay.
How many years do you think Landon Dickerson has?
Whew. I
2?
I mean, he's a tough son of a gun. Yeah, 2, 3,
Okay, 2 or 3.
And that's positive. See, that's being positive about it.
Yeah. How many years do you think Cam Jurgens has?
With the back surgery, and he's over in Tuvalu.
No, he's down in Brazil getting Brazilian butt tucks. He's doing something down there. I mean, hey, if you're going out of the country to fix your back, things ain't good.
Yeah, Well, if they start messing with your back, that the right way, that's
2 to 3.
That's not a positive thing. So I think if you positive, he said I have to see the way he's walking and everything because he was really hurting last year. Maybe 3.
Okay, 2 to 3.
Yeah.
Okay, this you agreed, Lane's. This is last year, probably.
Yeah. I think we're at the end of the road or near the end of the road. Yeah.
Okay. And if you bring in and you draft an offensive tackle, and he's this kid like Proctor from Bama, you're probably going to put him ahead of Steen and put him over at that right guard spot, right?
You could very well.
Because you don't want to draft a first rounder and put his ass on the sidelines.
That's right. You want him to play. That's right.
Okay. So, Gary, in the next 2 to 3 years, the entire offensive line is going to have to be revamped. You don't know what that's got to be the biggest concern heading into this offseason here is that in the next 3 years, almost 4 of the 5 guys could be replaced.
Yeah. They're up there at the stadium talking about this probably right now. That's why they're going to be looking at this draft. And who knows, they could draft a couple of offensive linemen, So they know they're going to have to address this. And, you hope these guys are going to be able to be healthy and hang in there. But that's something they've got to be concerned about. It's something they got to address. That's why, they're going to be looking with the Chargers, Mekhi Becton. I would imagine they wouldn't mind having him come back, but they're talking about the Chargers are talking about, releasing him. So that he would be a guy they would be interested in seeing what he wants to do, and they probably would sign him. And, of course, he liked his time here, so he would like to come back. But, of course, it's really, you got a different coach and everything. But they like the physicality that he brought and everything. So I'm sure they would probably be interested in bringing him back. But when you got this, you got a line, when you got that many question marks and everything, they're probably going to draft a couple offensive linemen there.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Gary, lastly here, did you get invited to the combines? Did you guys have combines back then, or were they pro days?
They were pro days. They have all of, the scouts come over there and everything. They had that.
So there was no setup like Indianapolis and all that when you were coming out of USC.
No, it wasn't really like that. They really kind of went around the country and they would go to the big schools, and check out everything, but it wasn't like it is now. No.
When they came down, my coach called me. I didn't even know what a pro day was.
Yeah.
And, you couldn't go to a combine because I think they had a rule for a while that only seniors could go to those because I came out as a junior. And so my coach, Butch Davis, calls and goes, hey, get over here. The pros are here. There's like 28 scouts that are here. Yeah. And it was pro day. And, so we did the 40. We did the 225. We did that. Are you shocked on what the combines look like today? How they make it an event? 20 million people are going to watch this stupid thing. with guys running around in shorts.
It's the NFL is huge. Come on, it's there's so many people interested in it, and then you know what else it is? It's another way you can gamble.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's right.
Come on, these guys are gambling on the time. I don't know what else. I don't know what they're gambling at, but
they gamble on who's the first pick in the draft. Is it Fernando Mendoza? Is it Reese, or is it any of these other guys, Bain?
But who knows? They could be gambling on who runs the best time. I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely.
They could get into all that, and so once that gets into it, but football is on a whole nother level. The NFL's on a whole nother level. I could go over to the gym over there trying to get a little workout in. Just to get through the thing, I got to answer 100 questions about the Eagles, about this, that, the other. No, I don't mind. I would rather have them interested than not interested. So, but anyway, it's just a buzz. The NFL's just getting stronger.
So when JAKIB goes out to dinner, he's sitting there having dinner with his wife and his kids and all.
Yeah.
People come up to you, waiters come up to you and go,
"Come on,
hey, wait, how the Eagles going to go in this offseason?"
Come on, Eagles fans. Do you know, Dan?
Listen. I was in the airport. And these two chicks, I don't know how they know me. This is when I was there last.
Yeah.
Oh, you're the Jalen Hurts hater. I'm like, I'm not a Jalen Hurts hater. That's not. He goes, no, I've seen your show. You hate. I don't hate. These were two ladies that were there. She goes, I love Jalen Hurts. And I sat there and I go, hey, I got it. Well, don't you dare tell me you like it. Do you think the Eagles are going to do well this year? This is the year they were going to win the Super Bowl. And I went, I don't know yet. We'll wait and see. Yeah, well, they're going to win the Super Bowl. And boy, they gave me a ton of shit getting on. I go, can I get a seat in the front? You think I'm giving you a seat in the front and you hating on Hurts all that like that? I'm going like, damn. This was at the Philly airport too. They too did.
Well, hey, Eagles fans, man, they don't bite their tongue.
No. Absolutely not. JAKIB, I can't wait. By the way, Doug Peterson's on tomorrow. Did you like him?
Oh, yeah. Doug's a great guy, man. Great guy. Yeah. Good people, and he'll be honest with you.
Yeah, I got him tomorrow at 3:30. JAKIB, see you soon, man. Thank you, my friend.
Buddy. All right, have a good one.
That is my friend, Gary Cobb. Yeah, I'm at the airport. And these two girls come up to me, and I walk up and I go, because I always try to like bullshit my way into the front seat. Okay, so I go, yeah, I got this back thing, old football injury. And this one girl starts looking at me. She goes like, I swear on my kid. So the girl looks at me. She goes, I know who you are. I was like, oh, shit. I go, maybe they read something like on Google. Google me. Like Kirk Signetti, Google me. Please don't. So she looks at me, I know who you are. And I'm going like, you don't know who I am. You just think I look familiar. She goes, no, I know who you are. You're that Jalen Hurts hater guy. My brother told me all about you. And I'm going like, no. I don't hate anybody. Okay, I really don't. Yeah, I heard you. I heard you hating on Jalen. You think he's this? You think he's that? He's one of the most to come. And I'm going like, come on, man. Come on now. All right. Yeah. Come. You're hating on Hurts. I'm not hating on anybody. I can't wait to talk to Doug Peterson tomorrow. That's going to be at 3:30. It's Saturday. Doug texted me, and then he called me, and he goes, listen. Oh, wait. I forgot. I can't say anything. So the interview is going to be interesting tomorrow, to say the least. So I told Xander what he told me, and I can't really say everything what he said. But, he goes, why I haven't gotten back with you? And I go, no. He goes, and I go, all right. I go, and you've done like a couple of interviews, and I've reached out to you. And he's like, all right. Should have looked her in the eye and said, 2903. Yeah, I don't think I would have made the plane if I would have said 2903. Yeah, no, I wouldn't have made the plane. I got Parker, who's 6'4", 265. You thought I forgot about the supers. I saw somebody in there moaning about them while I was talking to Gary Cobb. I'm going to get them all. Tyler, I'm drafting in case Lane needs to retire halfway. Good take. That's a great take. I'm keeping AJ over any other offensive player. He is the guy with aura, and he's got the offense. Ring or 6 W's. Tyler, appreciate it. Let's go here. I think we got one more to hit here. Let me see here. Let me grab this other super here. Hang on. Guys, I appreciate it very much, by the way. You hooking us up here. Jason, what do you think Carter and Nolan Smith were so good in 24? And with Sweat and Milton, big difference with the D line. Yeah, because Carter's now taking on more double teams. Okay? He's taking on more double teams. Remember what I said this past offseason? I said to you guys, hey, man, you're going to take lesser talent and put it on the D line and put it next to Carter. Carter's going to take on more doubles. He's going to take on more doubles. That's going to be a standard thing. Guys, appreciate it. Let me see here. Is there any way we get David Bailey? You're going to have to move up. You're going to have to move up. All right. Big Z said something to me about getting Big Joe on. We're doing something here, I guess, coming up at the beginning of the year. Joe Krause, are you ready for this here? So we got something working. I mean, Joe's always working in the background here on me, man. He's like covert here. He's like Howie. There's like something working in the background here. So Xander said something really cool. By the way, if this is going to, can you imagine if the home opener's the Rams? And I'm going to explain what we're going to do here. Without further ado, let's bring in our guy. Big Joe Krause joins us now. How you doing, bro?
Yeah, Big Sills, glad to be on the show, man. Sorry, the green zone's under renovations. As we had a successful, great first year with the green zone, we're redoing everything a little bit, so we lost all the signage and everything, but we've got some cool stuff coming up. But yeah, thanks for having me on.
Tell me what's going on here, man. Xander kind of briefly told me about it. What are we doing here coming up in the start of the season?
All right, so let me hit you and hit everybody right out of the box. I'll lay the foundation, Dan, by saying when we rolled out the JAKIB Sports Savvy Seats Year 2 promotion on your program in January, we sold that out immediately. That was the 10 tickets, 5 games, 2 tickets to any. And you should see some of the racks of games people have taken. One member of JAKIB Nation took all away games. So really, really cool. But check this out. Now, this is like a flash sale at Costco, meaning that once it's gone, it's gone. So we're rolling out in partnership with Savvy Seats our JAKIB Nation VIP Day at the home opener this season. It's $100, and that $100 gets you food and beverage at the tailgate, gets you a game ticket for the home opener. We're going to do a live broadcast down there at the stadium and all kinds of great stuff. Plus, we have all kind of giveaways for those that are part of the tailgate. There are only 50 slots available, and your limit is 2 tickets. So if you want to come with some, $200. Food and beverage included, a game ticket. By the way, this is not an SRO ticket. You'll have an actual seat at the stadium. All right. This is in the standing room only. All right. And we'll do it down at the link in one of the parking lots Should be an amazing kickoff to the season. All kinds of good stuff. $100, Dan.
Wait a minute. $100, all I can eat.
Food, beverage, and a game ticket.
And it's tailgating an Eagle game.
It's the home opener.
That's insane.
Now, obviously, until the schedule's released, we don't know who the opponent is going to be. We don't know what.
Does it matter?
No, it doesn't. Not at $100.
Not at $100 and not at home.
No. Now, listen.
Look, hey, Joe, the Eagles would show up if it was the stupid commies. That would be an amazing game. I mean, look, here. I want to show people this before you go on, Joe. A ticket to an NFL game, if you're looking for a decent one, is $3 If you're going to park, it's another 100. If you're going to eat inside the building, I'm talking about just one person, not a family of 4. If you go one person, that's $100. Food. If you buy a program or such and a hat, you're talking about another. That's $500 that you could spend. And you're telling me that you could do this for $100.
It's $100. And somebody said to me earlier today, I was in a conversation with a member of JAKIB Nation, and he said, "Man, you guys are so crazy. Why are you doing that? Why you guys do this?" And you know what, Dan? And Sander has said this to me so many times. So have you. We are so fortunate to have a JAKIB Nation community. It really is an incredible community. Xander says it all the time. I know you talk about it all the time.
Absolutely.
So our partnership with Savvy Seats is always going to be something unique and something that is going to benefit JAKIB Nation. And that's why we're rolling it out. Now, listen, remember what I said. This is a flash sale. There's only 50 slots. So this thing's going to be gone in 24 to 48 hours.
Oh, my God. This thing may be gone by the end of the program.
Here's what to do. It's always a text. And Xander, I don't know if you can see the.
Hey, Joe, you can't leave your house nowadays for less than $100 to go get some bread and gas. And then you got yourself an opportunity to save yourself $400. I've told people this all the time. Going to an NFL game is a very costly thing. So when you have something where I don't only have to spend $100, it gets me into the building as well. Man, you're already saving $300.
To get your seat
getting in the building.
And getting a seat in the building. And listen, can you imagine JAKIB Nation at a big old tailgate with a live show and food and beverage, and then everybody will roll into the stadium, sit wherever they sit. But it'll be a really, really cool event. We got a lot of great stuff that we're going to have. Giveaways on that day. This is the first time we've ever done something like this on local. We were at the casino a few years ago and all this stuff, but being at being down in the tailgate and being able to execute this is really going to be amazing. And again, it's $100, and if you don't want to go, that's okay. But for $100, join us. Do it fast. Text. There it is on the screen. Text Birds 365. Birds 365 to my cell 267-261-3428. Remember, the max, Dan, is 2 seats. So I'd like to try and give every individual an opportunity to get 2 if they want to. But if you only want 1, you only have to buy 1. But this thing will be sold out. If not before your show's over, we'll definitely be sold out by the end of Tuesday because it's so limited. But what an event it's going to be. And then, Dan, I'll tease coming up in April, we're going to send somebody out to the NFL draft in terms of our partnership with Savvy Seats. And then I don't want to get ahead of myself, but
is that Green Bay or Pittsburgh? What is it? Where?
Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
it's in Pittsburgh. Yeah, Green Bay last year. It's in Pittsburgh.
Yeah. Right.
But some of the promotions that we have coming up for JAKIB Nation, leading into the season is just absolutely just incredible stuff. And I'm thankful to Savvy Seats, and I'm thankful to JAKIB Nation, thankful to you, thankful to Xander, and thankful to everyone. And I will be live down at this tailgate, Dan. I might try and do the green zone from the parking lot on that day. We'll see what happens.
Man, I got to tell you, man, that's some great stuff. I love the fact that, I tell people this all the time. Anytime that you can get a great deal to go to games, and I'll make this pitch to you guys. A guy from Pepsi-Cola told me that 97% of all NFL fans have never been to a game. Just so you know, they've never been to a game. A lot of fans, NFL fans are everywhere, and almost 97% of them have never been to a game. So when you have an opportunity to get yourself some beverage, food, and it's only $100, these tickets are not cheap. The Eagles tickets are one of the more expensive. You're talking a seat could be anywhere like $350, $250, especially for a home opener like that, where it's going to be standing room only. I mean, I don't know, man. I'd be shocked if there's tickets left by the end of the program.
Yeah, so good stuff, man, but glad to roll it out on your show today as always, Dan, and keep up the good work. And by the way, your show on the weekend on Sports Grid, man, that thing's kicking ass, dude. I love it. I've got an alarm set on my phone to catch it when I can, and it's doing really, really well. Great job by you.
Boy, I'll tell you what, we got to really, Mike Cardano, who, by the way, you introduced me to, just so you know. I mean, Carton put a word in for me. But I got a text message from Cardano this morning, and he was like, "You're doing exceptional work." And I said, dude, Joe Krause has been telling you this for the last 5 years. I go, he's been telling you this. He goes, listen, you got to get that guy on. And, so I was telling him, and he's like, yeah, no, Joe was right, man. He was dead right. And so we're getting a lot of great feedback. The CEO even sent me a text and said that, he's like, I can't believe what I'm watching. We had Jim Lampley on. We were talking like the Olympics, and we had Tim Kirchin. That's more of a forum where it's talking all sports. Yeah. It's more like a little bit in college basketball. We had Jim Calhoun on and all them guys. So I wouldn't have gotten that job if I didn't have what I'm doing here Monday through Friday. So I always say thank you guys, because again, if it wasn't for the Life Preserver, I'm never in a million years going to be ever getting something like that. So, Jacob has saved me, actually.
The beauty of that, the beauty of the sports grid gig is because it covers everything on a national level. Because it does that.
Yeah.
Cardano and Sports Grid get the benefit of the
connection.
Sileo Rolodex, which is by far, one of the most powerful Rolodexes in the country.
Tomorrow, Doug Peterson's on at 3:30.
Oh, nice.
He's on here tomorrow at 3:30. So, he texted me over the weekend, and I said, you bet we want you on. So we're going to get Doug on, and we're going to talk some Eagles tomorrow. So, I mean, it's been really great, and I really appreciate it. And I'm glad that I can continue doing what I'm doing. So, I mean, it may be Monday through Sunday, but hey, Joe, when I'm dead,
you love it.
I do. Joe, so again, tell the folks one more time here what they need to do.
And I'm going to tell them, and then I want you to hit it one more time for me later on before you.
Yep, absolutely.
Out of here, but text Birds 365 to my cell 267-261-3428, and again, consider this a 24-hour flash sale. It's like when the Jordan 1s showed up at Costco, right? They were gone before.
What do you mean? It was like a blue light special. This is like a blue light special. Is that what this is?
$100. This thing's going to be gone. So it's 50 slots. You can get 2 seats, and you can be part of what will be an incredible home opener tailgate, the inaugural JAKIB Sports home opener tailgate, which, in the words of one of our members of JAKIB Nation who already purchased 2 tickets, he gets to be a part of what could become an annual. So we'll see what happens. You know?
Wait, like a wing bowl thing.
Yeah, I mean, we're not going like that or doing anything crazy.
No, we're not going that psycho, but
no,
you know.
but it could become an annual gathering and a way for us to be able to just embrace JAKIB Nation in an up close and personal way.
Yeah.
So I'm really, really excited about it.
We will hit on it later on. Big Joe, thank you so much, man. I appreciate you.
All right, Danny. See you, brother.
You got it. That is Joe Kraus. Make sure you guys end up hitting that. We'll hit on that a little bit later. Don't forget also my great friends at Morgan & Morgan. Let's pay some bills here. Morgan & Morgan, the number one injury law firm in all of America for a reason. That is because they win. They are the number one injury law firm in America. Look, the family I told you about in Pennsylvania here, $650K they were offered initially. They ended up getting nearly $30 million in settlement. Or the family down in Florida, $350,000. They ended up getting a settlement, nearly $12 million. This will be the easiest decision you'll ever make. It's family run and family owned. Go to forthepeople.com/big cells or pound law 529. That's forthepeople.com/big cells or pound law 529. And do me a favor, you tell them Big Sil sent you.
There's a reason Detective Johnson is the gossip king.
Oh, did you hear? Jackie and Tom
are getting a divorce? Sad.
Well, I heard that Ashley
Had work done on her face? Yeah, oof.
Just like there's a reason Morgan & Morgan is America's largest injury law firm. Injured? With over $25 billion recovered for our clients, there's a reason to go big.
Bathroom? Okay.
Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Oh, okay.
Ignite your nights with free live entertainment daily, only at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia's Center Bar. 7 days a week, enjoy some of the region's top party bands, performers, and DJs as they take the stage in the heart of the casino action. Great cocktails, live music, and lively moments. It's all happening at Center Bar at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia. Visit livecasinophilly.com for more details and the complete list of upcoming events. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
This is Eric. When he got injured in a car accident, he called Morgan & Morgan. He not only gets a lawyer, he gets trial lawyers like Sam and Jessica who are in it to win it. He gets his own investigators with briefcases, leather ones. And if you ever have questions, our customer service folks keep things rolling. Injured? We're your army. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Welcome to the Jet Setters and the High Rollers, to the Shot Takers and the Tastemakers. Welcome to the Viewfinders, the Thrill Seekers, and the Night Owls. Welcome to everything you could possibly want on one 5-mile island. Welcome to the Wildwoods. Book your stay today.
In our hometown, we all look out for each other. We go the extra mile to lend a helping hand.
Thank you.
We step up to keep our communities going strong. And at Independence Blue Cross, we're here to keep you going strong. We've been deeply rooted in our communities for more than 85 years. And that connection to members has earned us our spot as the #1 health insurer in the region. So while you look out for your neighbors, know IBX is always looking out for you.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on Sports Grid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on Sports Grid.
EAGLES. Eagles.
We're going to take a look at some draft picks now. We're going to do that. Do me a favor, hit the like button. Appreciate you guys coming aboard. Thank you again. By the way, Doug Peterson tomorrow. He'll be on with us at 3:30. We're going to talk to the legendary Philadelphia Eagle coach. at 3:30 and get his take on what he saw this past year. Some of the things that by the end of the year, maybe some changes that he may have made. I'm going to be interested to hear what he has to say. I thought it was pretty interesting, some of the comments that he was making to Howard Eskin. He was on with Howard, I think, a little bit ago, if I'm not mistaken, like a couple weeks ago. So we're going to talk. We're gonna talk with him and get his thoughts. So let me go down the list here, guys. Hit the like button here. And this is the Bledsoe report that I got. And I'm looking at. We'll go over how many guys did we do today? 1, 2, 3. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We did 13 of them. This was over the weekend that we took some snippets from what Bledsoe said about potential guys that you guys will be looking for in the upcoming April draft. It's really kind of like the first show that we've really done that has been draft centric, where we put something out there. So here, let me start it here. And let me go back over here again. Go down the list here. Let me get to Bledsoe. So the Eagles, if I'm not mistaken, have the 23rd, the 54th, the 68th. That's the Reddick deal. 122 is the 4th rounder. And 151, that's the Falcons. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Not a lot of picks. I'm sure Howie will address that. Okay? I'm sure he'll address that. Only 5 picks, right? Here. I'm not there yet, Kyle. I'll get there. I'll get all these names. Okay? So let me go here first. Let's go to Caden Proctor. Guy's got great physical traits, as we were talking with Xander. Proctor flashes dominance when he plays at times. Some of the scouts believe that, again, in a run-dominant offensive place, he would be a perfect and ideal pick for the Eagles at 23. I think he may have to move up, depending on how well he does. Now, remember something. This is pre-combines. Some of these guys may improve their combines and their draft status and what they do. So I'm going to read this one, and then I'm going to get an updated Bledsoe. Bledsoe will update it. Bledsoe will be there. Bledsoe's a report. Some of you don't know. Like, teams use these as a valuation on college players. There's 325 kids at the combines, and they're showing up now. I think they're starting to do stuff later in the week. The interview process goes, you do an interview process and you do a physical. So you do I think you do the physical first, and then you do your interviews. My process was different. We did I did a physical, then I did the interview, and then I did my workout. And I'll tell you real quick about my workout. Swear to God, I didn't even know what a pro day was. I had no idea. And I didn't really know that I was leaving college early, because I told you guys a story about, the NCAA and all that stuff. So I wasn't really going to leave as a junior. I left college as a junior. And if I had my choice, I would have stayed my senior year. Okay? I would have stayed. But so I didn't know. I'm laying in my bed in my dorm room. But I'm sleeping. So these combines are right before they're right before spring practice. And I remember we were running around kind of getting ready for spring practice. And I was laying in my bed, and I get a call from Butch Davis. He goes, "What are you doing?" And they told me pro day was, and I didn't care. I didn't know it was a thing. It was the only time I was completely unprepared for it. I'm like this. I'm like, and Butch goes, he called me in my room. He goes, where are you? There's 28 scouts here waiting to see you run. Denny, get this. No, I'm laying in my dorm room. He goes, get your ass over here. It's pro day. They want to see you run. And I went, who? There's 28 NFL scouts here. Don't you know what pro day is? It was posted all over the place. I go, what's that got to do to me? I got another year. He's like, dumbass, get over here. I got my flip-flops on. I run over there. All my shit was being was stored because in the off season, you take all this shit out of your locker because there's like 50 cleats and stuff. I go like this. And I remember going to my equipment guy. I need a pair of cleats. The guy goes, he went back in there, dove in there, got my old pair of cleats out. I had no socks on. So I fucking go out there and I'm like, what do you want me to do? He goes, I want you to run a 40. I'm like, all right. So I stretched this and that. Sure enough, man, 280, man, 285 or whatever it was. I fucking smoke a 481. And I was like, holy shit. I couldn't believe it. I smoked a 481. Then I smoked a 483. Then I did a 491 or something like that. They couldn't believe it. So I went to do a vertical. Jimmy's watching this. I couldn't believe I did a 481. I did a 481. By the way, it's in my book here. Oh my God, that's right. They did our things based off of this. Yeah, see right here. If you can read it. Where does it say? Well, it says 4.8. It says 4.8, 4.8 in the 40. Like right there, 4.8. I ran a 4.8 in the spring. And I bench pressed 535. So I ran a 4.81 bench and 535. I run this 40-yard dash. Every single team in the league comes over to me and they go, okay, so they did my height. I'm 6'1" something. I go, okay. Then they weighed me. And so then I did my vertical. And I jumped 28. And I did a 28-inch vertical jump. For my size and weight, I had the highest explosion on my team. That's Michael Irvin and everybody. I mean, I jumped almost 30 inches in the air. I did like 28. I could slam dunk back in the day, a Nerf basketball. So I did 28. Then the guys go like, and dude, I'm seriously, I had no prep for this. I wasn't prepared for this. So the guy goes, well, what can you do on the bench? Jimmy looks over at the guy and he goes, don't hurt yourself. And so I go, all right. I went over there. I ripped out 55 225s. Boom, 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 boom. I did it 55 times. The guy goes, by the way, my wife downstairs was spotting me when I did 71. I did 225 71 times. Okay. You play with Kevin Mack? Is that the running back from the Browns? Kevin Mack from the Browns? Because there was a Kevin Mack that played with the Browns. And my wife spotted me when I did 71 times, 225. That was years after, though. But in college, I did 225, 55 times. So I ran a 4.8. I ran a 4.8. That's what Jerome said. There's no way I'm white. I said I'm not. I'm Italian. Yeah, I played with Riccozzi. I did play with Greg Riccozzi. Yep. Played against him every day. Practiced against him every day. Really good dude. Good teammate. Played with the Browns for a couple of years. And damn, I was 4.3. Respect, Sills. 4.8. Never could have called that. Yeah, I ran a 4.8, man. 4.81. I jumped 28 inches on my vertical. I did 225 55 times. And I did my shuttle. My shuttle was stupid too. I was some athlete, man. Excuse me, Italian. Thank you. And that was my pro day. So then I do my interview. So Jerry Angelo comes from the Bucks 4-4-3 is outstanding. And so Jerry Angelo sits down, and I think I've told you guys, hey, got any Mafia family members? And I go, if I had Mafia family members, I wouldn't be sitting here. He started laughing. I go, by the way, hate on hate with an Italian crime. Coming from you, I'm disappointed. We hit it off so well. And he goes, if you don't make it in the pros, what's your plan B? I go, people with plan Bs don't have plan As. And the guy goes, okay. Sure enough, I go through spring. I kill everybody. I'm preseason All-American in every fucking team. Every team. Playboy All-American, everything. Every single thing. I'm getting ready. NCAA calls me, and I'm like, Jesus. And all the shit that you see today, people getting granted 8th years and stuff. Oh, my God. I'd have been the 5th pick in the draft. 5th pick in the draft. So I have to go in a supplemental draft. So I go into the supplemental draft, and the rest is history. Yeah. So my pro day was weird. I'm laying in bed. Get the phone. Where are you? This is Butch. I'm going, I'm in bed, man. What the hell? I'm not working out today. He goes, no, pro day. Didn't you see it? Everybody's here. Like, and I showed up. Everybody was. Charlie Casserly, Ron Wolf, Ken Herrick. Shit. Here. I got to show you this. So this was after my pro day. So after my pro day, I started getting all these letters from all these pro teams. And here, watch this. Patriots. It's actually, then they take you out. Then everybody started taking me out to dinner. Like, this was like I didn't realize it. This was like a 3-day thing. So I got taken out to dinner over the next 3 days by like 15 teams. So you guys can't see it probably, but the New England Patriots sent me this. They sent me this. I don't know why it does that. But the New England Patriots sent me this letter. And there's the letter, and they signed it. And I'll tell you, it says this. After your recent workout and your pro day, after carefully examining the nation's top college football talent, we are considering you as a prospect for the National Football League's draft on April 29th, 1987. In the event that we have the opportunity to draft you, we're hoping in the first round. It is important that this additional information on the record so that we may contact you and fly you in to properly meet you and show you around the complex. Please complete the enclosed form and return it as soon as possible. Thank you for taking this time to complete this form. Your cooperation is greatly appreciated. Our best wishes to you and your future endeavors. We're looking forward to seeing you. Dick Steinberg, Director of Player Personnel, New England Patriots. So this is just one of the letters I got. And me being a kid from like state Connecticut, I'm like, damn, that means my folks get to come and watch me play. And that means my folks get a chance to come up and watch me. Did you get looked at by Penn State at all? Yes. Joe Paterno came to my school, and so did Jerry Sandusky. Jerry Sandusky came to my house and recruited me. And they Penn State, then they saw my grades, and I went to a Catholic school. And Joe Paterno came to my high school twice for me. And he goes, have you ever heard of Matt Millen? And I said, yes. And here, Joe Paterno and Sileo, my relationship with Joe Paterno. I actually love Joe Paterno. Yeah, I had a great relationship with him after the game. And after, he regretted me not going. So here, let me show you this. This is pretty cool stuff. See, nowadays you have to have like receipts or people don't believe you. Dan Sileo, Paterno. So you have to have receipts today. Okay. So here's something that was in the New York Times. Dan Sileo, Miami defensive tackle. I'll read it to you. Dan Sileo, Miami defensive tackle, whose eligibility is being questioned, is no average sort. A dominating lineman who bench pressed 540 pounds. Strongest man on our team, said Coach Jimmy Johnson. Earlier this year, Joe Paterno, Penn State coach, thought Sileo was Miami's best lineman. Yes, even better than Jerome Brown, who was a consensus All-American last year. Joe Paterno said Sileo is one of the top defensive tackles that he's played against. Here's another one. This is a preview of the 1987 season coming up. This is what Joe Paterno said. And this was like, I guess it was a presser that Jimmy did. We got a couple of defensive players that we feel are going to get and win All-American recognition. All-American recognition. First, defensive tackle Dan Sileo, 285 pounds. I would say 4'8" and a 40, by the way. Stubbs is 4'7" in the 40. Sileo is a dominating player. And I know talking to Paterno earlier and prior to the Super Bowl, or prior to the Fiesta Bowl and after the Fiesta Bowl, felt like Sileo might have been last year, week in and week out, our very best lineman. Put up incredible numbers and was consistent, even more so than consistent and consensus All-American Jerome Brown, who was injured on occasions. I think Sileo really had a great year. He's a great pass rusher and, of course, a very dominating player, as big as he is. He's the strongest player in the country and without a doubt will be a force this year in the upcoming season. Jerry Sandusky was killed in jail, really? I didn't know that. Dude, was he really? They killed him in jail? He can't. I'll tell you this. That guy was one of the absolutely greatest defensive coordinators that's ever lived. Dude, who knew? Nobody knew. Thank you. We're considered two of the greatest of all time as a tandem. Seals, when you played, how much of the offense was in control of your quarterback? We had really Vinny and Bernie. Bernie, no way. Bernie ran the offense. Nobody was in control of Bernie Kosar. By the way, if I ever had to win a ball game, I'm taking Bernie over anybody. I've just seen too much winning with him. Kosar was just like freaking insane, incredible. Okay? Just incredible. I was pissed wasn't more competitive in the pros. I was a big fan. Chris, me too, man. Me too. I let a lot of stuff get in the way. More so my fault. According to the media, everyone knew about Sandusky. Well, when you're being recruited, how would you know? This was 1981. 82. Didn't know anything about that. I was 18 years old. I know I'm still a huge fan. Bernie was awesome in college. Tremendous. Bernie was awesome in the pros. The last time the Cleveland Browns had been to an AFC championship game, the quarterback of the Browns was Bernie Kosar. And he did it 3 times. And the only reason he didn't go to 3 Super Bowls is because of John Elway. John Elway had to beat Bernie. Those are 3 AFC title games. Bernie lost 3 AFC title games. And the Browns haven't been anywhere near that since. I couldn't stand Paterno. He didn't do shit since. I've been watching football. Penn State never had a quarterback in my life. Chuck Fusina. No. The other guy that was drafted in the first round that went to the Chiefs, who was a broadcaster. Kerry Collins was decent. Okay. Absolutely. One of the best. I broke his, get this too. I became teammates with him in the World League. We were teammates. His coach actually drafted me after I got sick and I had meningitis. His coach drafted me. My wife and I loved the head coach of the Orlando Thunder. God, what was his name? Galen Hall. And I had played against Galen Hall in college a couple times. Galen was the head football coach of the Gators. Todd Blackledge, thank you. And I had killed his teams. I mean, killed them. I think in 2 games against Florida, I had 20 tackles. And I murdered that guy's teams. 2 sacks, 3 sacks, 20 tackles. 2 times, one up there, down at our place. I killed that team. And I got sick with meningitis. And I remember he calls me and he goes, "Hey, you think you still got any juice left?" I'd been out of the game a year and a half and I'd been in a hospital. And I told you guys I couldn't walk. I was in crutches. And I was like, I had just got back. And I remember she was my girlfriend then she became my wife. And she goes, "You got to try it." So I go like this. I got back to practicing. And Galen used to come over to me and I'm sitting there. I think I was 26. And he goes like this. He goes, "Need some time off?" I said, "No, I'm all right." I had practiced. I had been out of football 3 years because of my illness. Almost died. And so I'm like, "Yeah, no, I'm all right." Sure enough, man, we go back to 2 days again. I'm okay. Next day, "You all right?" He really cared. And he's like, "You all right?" And then sure enough, man, I got my shit together and I became all league. And I made all league. And I remember he comes walking in. He goes, "Hey, the Lions just picked your rights up. Here's a check for like 15 or I think it was $25,000. Here's a check." I'm like, all right. What does that mean? Because back then, teams, what they did with that World League, they'd start putting their claims in on players. So he walks in, he goes, "Sileo, come here, I got to talk to you." I said, "What?" He goes, "Yeah, the Detroit Lions just picked your rights up." And I'm like, "Okay, here's a check." I open up the envelope, it was $25,000. And I go, "Oh, all right. Well, that works." I was like, all right, that works. Could split screen a game or 2 on here. You and Jerome complimenting each other on the field. Whew. Did we ever? Man, we were a menace. And people were afraid of us. They were legitimately afraid of us. I mean, they were really afraid of us. I mean, I've had Ed Orgeron. I put a clip up all the time. Ed Orgeron goes, 2 best defensive tackle combinations I've ever seen. And man, people were just in fear of us. And we talked so much shit. It was so obnoxious. It was just, people were afraid. I'm a different dude today. I'm nowhere near that guy. I'm nowhere near that dude. Nowhere near it. Nowhere near that guy. It's taken me so many years. You know what? Real, I say this all the time. If Marcus Dupree, who's a dear friend of mine, If Marcus Dupree had played on them Oklahoma teams, it may have been a different outcome for Oklahoma against us. 3 years in a row. Zeal, get this. They played us 3 years in a row. Their record was 33-3. And you know who they lost to. You weren't beating us. We shut that team down every year we played them. We beat them at their place, we beat them at our place, and we beat them in a bowl game. We beat them one year, 21-17. That was the closest it got. The final one was 21-17. But the first one was 28-14. Then the second one was like 28-17. And we just killed them. But if they had Marcus Dupree had left. He was one of the greatest high school prospects of all time. And if he had stayed, Kerwin Bell got his bell rung by, oh my God, I hit him on the 5-yard at Florida Field, and I drove him into the turf. It was a sack. And man, I got up, I started shooting him down like this. People hadn't seen that shit before. After the game, they go, how come you were throwing, like you were shooting him? I go, I don't know. Jimmy never had a problem with it. He was just great. Bernie and Elway was like Manning against Brady and Mahomes against Allen. He unfortunately went up against a top 3 quarterback of all time. Yes. Bernie Kosar is one of the greatest. You heard Mark Trestman on here saying that. You think the Eagles don't like you because Howie's again? You know what? I've actually, I don't know. Maybe that plays into it a little bit. Because he is a Gator. He is a Gator. Sandusky's not dead. He's not dead. I know he's not dead. I know people like Matt Millen. You know what was crazy about that whole story? That guy came into my house. He's sitting down recruiting me to go to Penn State. You know what I told him? Hey, Kim, you'll like this. You know why I told those guys that I didn't want to go to Penn State? Kind of the same reason I want to go to Notre Dame. So I go like this. I go, what's with the black shoes? And they go, it makes you look slower on film. Oh. Why? I go, I don't like black shoes. Black shoes? And I go, yeah. And how come you don't have the name on the back of your jersey? How are the girls going to see me? Those guys were like, the girls? I go, yeah, how's everyone going to see my name if I'm just wearing a number? Well, it's about the team. And I go, yeah, I hear you and all. I was like, Notre Dame, the same thing. So I take my recruiting trip there. I go, how come you guys don't put your names on the back of the jerseys? Well, it's just about Notre Dame. And I'm like, oh. So he goes like, is it important to have your name on the back? I go, yeah, I want my name on my back so my grandpa could see me. And my family could see me. Yeah, I want my name on the back of my jersey. And the Syracuse guys, I couldn't understand those guys not having it. Because back then, I forget the guy's name. Who was the head coach of that team back then? Who was the head coach of Syracuse back in the day? Syracuse head coach. I thought of going there. Syracuse. I forgot who was the coach of that team. And he brought me up there and he started talking shit to me. And I was like, it was Dick McPherson. So Dick McPherson brings me up. It was 82. They were 2-9. I remember that. And I went on my recruiting trip. And I remember I went up on my recruiting trip. And I thought Syracuse was okay. Yeah, 82, right after the 82 season, they were 2-9. They got a little better, 6-5, 6-5, 7-5. I beat them my freshman year when I was at Maryland. I think that's the only time I played them. My freshman year, we beat them, and I played in that game. I was 19 years old. And I remember seeing him at that game because I went to Maryland because I wanted to stay home. He goes, I thought you were going to Notre Dame. I go, yeah, going to Notre Dame. Notre Dame stunk then. He did go 11-0-1 in 87. That's the year we won the national title. So they must have finished fourth that year. Yeah, McPherson. He finished up pretty strong. I like Dick McPherson. He was a pretty good dude. Yeah, he was good people, man. Notre Dame only recently put – are the names on the back now? I didn't realize that. Sills, leading up to this college upcoming college season, can you take the time to tell us your recruiting trips to all schools you visited? Not today, but I'll tell you a couple of them. I went to Maryland, obviously. I went to Notre Dame. I went to BC. Cuse. We had 6. Maryland, Notre Dame, BC, Syracuse. OU, Oklahoma, and LSU. Maryland, Notre Dame, BC, Cuse, Oklahoma, and LSU. Those are my 6 visits. And then when I transferred, I went to Miami. I took a visit. I went to Minnesota. Then I went to SMU. I only took 3 because I knew where I was going. I was going to Miami because Bernie called. I didn't initially take a visit to Miami, my out of high school. They had girls I would have went. Oh yeah, I didn't really like the coach, so I was doing everything I could to get thrown out of there. Sills would tag anyone. Let's see. You would have been great playing in Texas for the Longhorns. You know what, David? One of the coolest things. Do I have it? Where is that thing? There, let me get that. Oh yeah. I love showing this. So Coach Switzer, to Dan Sileo, great player and friend. I am one of the only 3 men that he ever recruited from New England, because he doesn't really think much of New England football. He goes, you Yankees play football? And so he gave me a scholarship. And I actually have the scholarship still. And I kept it. And I initially was going to go there. And I was going to play for the Sooners. And after I was transferring, because I hated the coach at Maryland. And when they saw all these people that were offering me scholarships, Sooners. Yeah, I think I still saved it. Yeah, I know. I know I saved that. And yeah, he gave me a scholarship. And here's a great picture. Here's me and Jerome right there at Memorial Stadium when we broke Aikman's leg. That's at Memorial Stadium. Here it is. Here's my scholarship to Oklahoma. Yeah. I always wondered what it would have been like playing for Coach Switzer. Yeah. Hey, you think? So BC had John Boza. Bill Romanowski is one of my great friends. Okay. Absolutely one of my great friends. I love him. I'll say. You kidding me? Absolutely. knocked the wind out of me, but that pause lasted forever. Next day in class, the room was I want to play football. And could you imagine yourself on that defense? Dude, they had Bosworth, they had Tony Casillas, and they wanted me to play next to Casillas. That thing would have been insane. Tony Casillas says it to this day. Sills, can you imagine? Right? So let me do this. I'm going to do something else too. I got to remind myself here with what we're doing with Joe Kraus here in a second here, but I'm going to take a time out here. I got to do something here with our friends at Morgan & Morgan, the #1 injury law firm in all of America for a reason. Guys, do me a favor. Please check out family run, family owned. I tell you this all the time. There is no decision you'll make better than this if you've ever been hurt or injured on a job. There's nobody like Morgan & Morgan. Family owned, family run. All the kids are involved in running the company. John and Ultima Morgan founded this company over 25 years ago. Go to forthepeople.com/big sales or pound law 529. That's forthepeople.com/big sales or pound law 529. And do me a favor. You tell them Big Sales sent you.
There's a reason Detective Johnson is the gossip king.
Oh, did you hear? Jackie and Tom
Are getting a divorce? Sad.
Well, I heard that Ashley
Had work done on her face? Yeah, oof.
Just like there's a reason Morgan & Morgan is America's largest injury law firm. Injured? With over $25 billion recovered for our clients, there's a reason to go big.
bathroom? Okay.
Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Oh, okay.
Ignite your nights with free live entertainment daily, only at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia's Center Bar. 7 days a week, enjoy some of the region's top party bands, performers, and DJs as they take the stage in the heart of the casino action. Great cocktails, live music, and lively moments. It's all happening at Center Bar at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia. Visit livecasinophilly.com for more details and the complete list of upcoming events. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
This is Eric. When he got injured in a car accident, he called Morgan & Morgan. He not only gets a lawyer, he gets trial lawyers like Sam and Jessica who are in it to win it. He gets his own investigators with briefcases, leather ones. And if you ever have questions, our customer service folks keep things rolling. Injured? We're your army. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Welcome to the Jet Setters and the High Rollers, to the Shot Takers and the Tastemakers. Welcome to the Viewfinders, the Thrill Seekers, and the Night Owls. Welcome to everything you could possibly want on one 5-mile island. Welcome to the Wildwoods. Book your stay today.
In our hometown, we all look out for each other. We go the extra mile to lend a helping hand. We step up to keep our communities going strong. And at Independence Blue Cross, we're here to keep you going strong. We've been deeply rooted in our communities for more than 85 years. And that connection to members has earned us our spot as the #1 health insurer in the region. So while you look out for your neighbors, know IBX is always looking out for you.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on Sports Grid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on Sports Grid.
EAGLES. Eagles.
Tremendous era of college football. Kids didn't go anywhere. They stayed in one place. I was like one of the very few outlier guys. Nobody transferred. That was looked down on. Hey, we're going to probably find out more. By the way, Doug Peterson tomorrow at 3:30. We're going to talk to the legendary former coach of the Eagles, so be prepared for that. Also, Howie and Nick are speaking tomorrow at the Combines. Full week lined up here too, man. Appreciate all of you. Thank you again. 2 to 6, and we'll catch you on the flip side.